Esan sanya wa wo pe. Papa da wo mobro na so so. Adeboyafo ati say ye yanka henie no mpo ye nnimu chafa. Nanso nei. Mobro hunu a wo hunu minu mianu nti. Yanso ye di ade ewo asaf Yehowa henie no mu. Aropa ya tena se. Western in the morning live on Western Diamond Television. And now Tuesday, the 6th day of May 2025 in the year of our Lord. And I pay come off video mu ase. E be say so back here ho. Na yet me apega san komono. We chefa wo mu, me chefa wo mu. Taxi driver ne chefa wo mu. Truck driver chefa wo mu. The market woman chefa wo mu. Afei womu ene ya kase womu ni adwuma ye mpo mamu ase no so chefa womu power chefa womu yenyi na yenyi ho nti ase ne ake ho abom se bua ba akumu ade a na ye pegya nkomo a ebro ma wo man Ghana enya na mo papa gina so a so we urade wo gine fitting anka ba ye to ya da no kakran ba ye woti so yi wo kwasa bi na enya ne tenetene no a ye bona baso a and your bonnet chia. And Kayama who and fear na day anymore. Saying to see a year my Ghana who a draw or my arrest. Na dry your my Ghana and your baku for and a said drone. 24 crackers a baku for shred dragu. And I can't want bombs up Wabakumu and the enough a yazo Maya a yarina dra. And can fear na day anymore. And can see some mapa ebeba. That's when they party 70. Me otesone ya de pamponu a esan se woni ni party ba kumu no ezo enye no nyina enye papa sana de no eko and clearly eye esa ye twade ato a enchiri ma ba be na mpanifo so bo etanopai senye wonte ase prekopa na eke ho bomu se bua ba kumu ade na ye tuo na mo a epegya wo man na gina mpempenso papa Akaso faso de bebrebe pa. Arapa me na say. Yenna production team na say ochema ba essential. Wono ena no pay all lady production ni nyina. Aside de won koma abna say wa mani ampon. Yaro ewo MCR. Sami ejna cameras na chi. DJ Bone, thank you. Kelly, thank you. He's in charge of social media. Mana preke technician on duty. Midin di Osikani Frimpong Manso. Betinamu di ama parima ba na kunedu abupra. Ena no pay. Kaina sharon so preko pese wa man Ghana be yia. Ejina minu mienu ana montu aye tu mprempren so. Enkoma aye di mprempren. Ena eba be buama wa man no ne nhihye ne o man ne nchekere no so. Enya na mo papa ejina so. Ninyira nkamfo ano aba woto ye nso ehun sunsanso enso eka ho bi entana pay ye sinkonwa ye di o man Ghana ho nkomo ye o man Ghana ho aduro ye da asese waka ye ho obetimi do WhatsApp and a text message about 0248 071174 0248 071174 Africa National Society are live on all our social media platforms and I pay. Enter on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, no. I am Western Diamond Television. Uko wana like and page, no. Afenya daji show comment ni nyina tumu fama ne. We are bomode ko pelenke na share my. Some 43 minutes gone past the hour 6. Adapay yatina sie yedi kan etu ye ho ya wofo na ya hye ye ho enkuran. Arapay asemu ede bro ne atiawa abrantie ST Louder asemu adanu ada wakan ye ene techerema ho empro enti upa tutufam ana tuamna donko na kan semu gu amna no mu wi afanya kata so ensemu a woka gu amna no mu no ene ye ebedru ba bi ni sansem no be pie monten ama nipa nyina hunu ne ya woka ye mire bi abesene kro ne ntuna mpanifo ka se techerema wo hoi empro anya se bia nipa no ewu ana nipa dua no wu a techerema da na numu no enya ade ebepro abra wo hyefamu na mom no eye kasa bebuo nyansa samka ene nimdi samka abrantie ST Louder I say, I never dreamed about success. I worked for it. I say, I never dreamed about success. I worked for it. Beba chow inkunimdiye beba. Yedie beba. Abrabomun kanko beba. Ni awudu nsa somu awo ye no ebekọ yia. Abusuya enye da ye sonko a ene be masa nkunimdiye mapa. Ena afei ye ka de sen enkanko no nso betimi aba. Woso da ye no a yahuda ye no ho adwuma. Enti woso da ye ahodo bebrebe no a frafia asasia da ye awodo a waso nyina no aye da ya sanka wutimi abomoden amana a implement a anka edin sesama pa ebeba wabra bomu na so de ne yehunu untu ho na ma oye enti no wodati ba bia wote anopai. You never dreamed about success. You need to work hard for it. It is nkunimdiye baba de wo ye no enkanko beba mu a bepa cha otu ho na mo yie hyase tu ho na mo hyase buru nsuo no a ene wani ye kokko arapa menim da ye a waso but me sunsum ka kire me se waso da ye bia wo pese otu ho na mo nanso no emprempren yan so da ye ne saa keke wo so da ye no atu ho na mo emfa wo ne akade ye a wonni a wodi tu saa da ye no ho na mo nanso no kakra no a ewo wo nsam emprempren no hyase fa tu da ye a waso no ho na mo. Estee Lauder say, I never dreamed about success. And can't call and couldn't be a year dear. Why now so da ye number muno near ya and pray why you're the phone say. Was ya juma day fa a year, sir? Diana was so ya maybe a bessin crone ho, and no and nam suma and nay. What drew baby our dream? And then nam suma and pray I can say. But I seen an issue, what me Ashamana Bamu, and to know what would you mean? South Twandio Jasso, we are truck driver, we are driver's mate, we are taxi driver, power and away ye. Back movement now, ya. Mr. I had the young before say there is a light at the end of the tunnel. They all coming down a casse SC. Na shawden na ma usua nyansa wo obrakwantuo ya utu anamu akọ animu no mu ensi a wonya sa experience no entina twasesi wo hawa wonamu amane a wonamu wo de famu ana wanyi nara no ekwase esi sare be ya besua bibia afiri mu entianopai wo a wotie me wo a wo hwe me maba me be hye wo nkuran na ma kire wo se daya yeso se ye tu ana mo bi no enso daye ne saa keke na mom no tu daye so no wana mo se ne ebejwa botaye si wani so no ebebem e de amaw anopa me gidi pa se de me kan. I am speaking to your heart. I am speaking to your mind this morning. I am speaking to your spirit this morning. Minya pop enso anopa ma ba me ma hope etitie biem. Estee Lauder say, I never dreamed about success. Manso ye die ne nkunimdie ho daye na mamuno metu ho na mo ye adwumaden na emprempre me nsa ka de me nsa ka no. Enti de si wani so no tu ho na mo daye de obetimi aso wo so daye ne wie na wan tu ho na mo wa ba bia wo gina na ho na abegina waso daye se wo pesa wo ton force na force tomu no eno ana emprempre a yakase eba be boawa mo watimi I establish who in life me pa chaw tie sika e de ton force no enye sika ketwa eno so si wo kwan se wonni sika nti no daye a waso no o ma daye no I stand still untu hu ana mo bia kakra de kura no se 15 cedis impo ana 20 cedis impo de kura wa arabatu tu amanfo so de kwa kantamanto ahemache ekwohwehwe force wa ene da ho wamo be hye ne blue wamo mbeto so na kwakura do entonkozi se edane be kwa awie ye no nyame de tofo be bresa nipa no entino wo free one na wabuabu Osikani no akotu ebedu baabi no ene force bill na wontimi ntom mere bia besene kro no esan anamo a wotu yenti bill na ne wotom yenum yensen nan yenum adwuma no ana exercise a emu ebia no enti no woso de bibi ho daya na kan de edi tu sa na mo no wonsan kan ni nyina ya kakra na wo wonsam de kura wo no hyase afatu ho na mo and gradually eniema be kon kan de amount be ba cho mo ma di ye nyina wa brabo mu no eya wo no mu sia na wo no mu di nkomo abiso so ma hyase se nete daya wo mu so ya no na eniema na eho kan de kura mo sa emprempre no ana obaga jo se da bi waso sa daya no nya sa ni so ade hunu no ne kura no sa time no ana wo hyase se wo de ye bibi enti ne nei wa pagya kosoro no enti anopai Estee Lauder say, I never dreamed about success, I worked for it. Yanyina we so na yama wa chimyem na yansan so ema akwaba aha eye wontumi 101.3 Western Diamond Television, Western in the morning juma die sunu me patch of our WhatsApp and a text message bra 0248071174 0248071174. Yeah, live on all our social media platforms. And you know, we do Facebook at Western Diamond TV. Like your page, you know, for our comment in the bra, copy link, you know, na share Western Diamond TV on X, Western Diamond TV on YouTube, Western Diamond TV on TikTok. Midin Osikani Frimpong Manso. And I pay good morning, BM.
Box am abo tracing. Hey.
Electoral area coordinator, Senate polling station executives via Omoaha. Members of the new patriotic party, communicators now, Omunyina, Michia Munyina. Let us say, Serie Munyina Martino. Year 2024 elections, no, December. Now, maybe a elections, parliamentary candidates. Every constituency omoko round ekodasi and a presidential candidate so after every presidential election from Ejukwahe next time to President Kufuor time to President Nana Akufo-Addo next time inyina omokodasi enti 2024
the acting Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafuboni, through a Judicial Service Secretary. That petition in the removal and the suspension of Chief Justice, her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Araba Esaba Saki Tokono. And you know, there was a demonstration and rather and cry. Nebuchadnezzar demonstration, no, seminar, no. Yeah, and then President John Dramani Mahama has set up a committee to probe a petitions. Was saying Ghana for the brand no saying Chief Justice in free honor. The minority in parliament and a coalition of political parties to say, and I'm more President John Dramani Mahama and the Council of State, and I'm so I'm on the suspended my Chief Justice, you know, and more of Accra. And of course, on that same issue, you know, the Ghana Bar Association, I don't know that. One more the some resolution said by one more says President John Dramani Mahama, Epesasum Yema Paba. Orange State here, the Chief Justice now was suspended. No, I think so. One moment they not make it available, and the substance and the objectives in the premier facie case. Once you are to me establish here, no TNM Swama, you suspended your Chief Justice. No, na demonstration a drum will go and I pay. You made the home come Accra now who the course so, but you remember videos and pictures. And I say, Encomodia a course and rather a demonstration as a Johnny live on Western Diamond Television, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitter, live on X. Na the demonstration, a course so and rather no ewo enkran bi etino on your screen right now no eno no send them on television.
Of the president.
The Attorney General, far from being guardian of justice, has been reduced to a partisan stool, sweeping away prosecutions against NDC officials who allegedly were involved in all manner of malfeasance during the first administration of President Mahama. Now entangled in a web of allegations and counter-allegations, he has become a perfect reflection of the regime decay. A symbol not of justice, but of God's in high office. They now choose which judge to sit on a particular case. And we've seen the transfer of a particular judge to preside on the case. An example again is Mr. How a suspect who is on bail could be remanded in custody because the Attorney General claims that the accused is doing something untoward. This is an example of what the NDC is up to. No more justice, but intimidation and what the government wants. The Attorney General, far from being guardian of justice, has been reduced to a partisan stool, sweeping away prosecutions against NDC officials who allegedly were involved in all manner of malfeasance during the first administration of President Mahama. Now entangled in a web of allegations and counter-allegations, he has become a perfect reflection of the regime decay. A symbol not of justice, but of God's in high office. They now choose which judge to sit on a particular case. And we've seen the transfer of a particular judge to preside on the case. An example again is Mr. How a suspect who is on bail could be remanded in custody because the Attorney General claims that the accused is doing something untoward. This is an example of what the NDC is up to. No more justice, but intimidation and what the government wants. The Attorney General, far from being guardian of justice, has been reduced to a partisan stool, sweeping away prosecutions against NDC officials who allegedly were involved in all manner of malfeasance during the first acting Judicial Secretary and your colleagues. We are here as citizens of Ghana, empowered, boldened, and encouraged by the Constitution to express our dissent and protest in a peaceful manner. This morning, we are before you. And our mission is very simple: to protest at the executive intimidation, interference, and the attack on your very institution. We are political actors. The judiciary is supposed to be a neutral actor in this democratic discourse. The judiciary is our last hope, and we believe that what is happening undermines our democracy and the rule of law. For the Chief Justice to be singled out for this unfortunate attack, flimsy, pedestrian petition, the Council of State has failed the country. And we want you as an institution to put aside your individual differences and know that it is your institution that is under attack. Maybe today is Tokonu, tomorrow my respected friend, it may be you. You don't serve at the whims and caprices of a political party and a government. If you wanted to be a politician, you would have been in a political party. So this exercise is to protect this very institution. What is happening to a leadership is repugnant to good conscience. This government is to focus its attention on governance and not to be attacking actors who are non-partisan. We become aware that the very government that criticized the increase in the number of judges to the bench has suddenly appointed 7 more judges to the Supreme Court. You and I know, you are a judicial secretary, you've been in the service for long. You know the process of nominating judges to the Supreme Court is not what has been used. Normally, the nominations come, the Judicial Council deliberates. It is not given a timeline. Then they would make a recommendation to the president, who will now go through the Council of State. Then eventually, it gets to Parliament. So this reset is a negative reset. And we are calling on each and every one of you, from the acting CJ, acting judicial secretary, or judicial service staff, or judges, that don't be comfortable and think that maybe you are benefiting from it. So as the Akan adage goes, in other words, it is somebody, it is not you. I also want to take this opportunity on behalf of my colleagues here to draw the attention of the nation to come to terms with the fact that there must be an end to bitterness. If this vicious cycle of you did it to me, I will do it to you continues, there will be no further hope for our democracy. Which means that in 2028, you, who may be acting judicial secretary, will now be looked at with a partisan lens. No. Because come what may, 2028, there will be a change in government. There would be. There would be. So I am humbly, as a practitioner of the court, I'm humbly calling on all judges, all judicial service staff, to think deep about tomorrow. Not to be too comfortable, because today some government officials are promising judicial service staff and the judges of promotion. So you are comfortable, you don't want to speak up. We will speak up for the sake of posterity. We will speak up for the sake of posterity. And then again, we have seen a sudden intimidation of judges. So there is fear. Look at this Kwabena Dubuayin case, for instance. A judge is transferred, and when somebody is on bail, now the Attorney General is able to say that there are some exceptional circumstances that the person must be remanded, and a judge, a high court judge, decides to say, I'm remanding a state intelligence official, somebody who has committed 20 years of his adult life to serve the state as an intelligence officer, is thrown back to on remand, and a judge sat and said he's granting the wishes of the Attorney General. Really? What is happening? Let's be careful. As a nation, all we have is our democracy. Should things get out of hand, we may not be able to control it. So I'm signaling us as a political class, we need to proceed with caution. All of us, we shouldn't take their power for granted. There is unemployment on the street. The youth of Ghana need employment. The NDC government itself has already failed in its main promise to the Ghanaian people, 24-hour economy. It was not contained in the SONA. It was not contained in the budget statement. And they are busy with resources to attack the Chief Justice, sacking senior military officers. Youth who have been employed in the public service and in SOEs are being asked to go home. We now have two Ghana. The Ghana for the NDC that is in government, and then a Ghana for others who are seen as enemies. This is not a revolution, it's a democracy. So my respected colleague, I am humbly, on behalf of your fellow citizens, presenting this petition to you as a judicial secretary,
and expresses our views because we know we are addressing the president. We hope that it shall receive the needed support for the Chief Justice to go back to her office and do her work. Thank you so much.
Thank you. On behalf of the Chief of Staff here in the office of the President, and on behalf of the President, I'm delighted to receive the petition from the coalition and it will be duly presented to the Chief of Staff for the attention of the President. Let me say that we are happy that your process started this morning and has ended very peacefully. That in itself is a very strong message about the democracy that President Mahama wants to instill in our dear country. If it were the case like this over the past 8 years, I'm sure that the retaliatory politics that we talk about wouldn't have been the case. You referencing retaliatory politics is an admission that the 8 years of President Akufo-Addo and Mahama Bawumia were not the best for this country. You can be assured, however, that President Mahama, as every Ghanaian knows, is not that politician. President Mahama does not believe in retaliatory politics. He's described as, too much of a father for all kind of president, and everybody knows that. Whatever actions that are being taken now, whatever decisions that are being taken now, as everybody knows, is in line with the provisions of our 1992 Constitution. Indeed, before President Akufo-Addo left the presidency, he himself had started a certain process where issues were brought to him about the Chief Justice and he referred them to the Council of State. And that is what President Mahama has done. It is not about retaliating on something that was done by the previous administration against President Mahama or the NDC. So the process that is ongoing is constitutional, and I do believe that if the committee that has been set, completes its work, whatever decisions that they make, just as the Council of State's advice to the President was binding on him, it will be binding on him. I can assure you and the people of Ghana that we appreciate the fact that just as government ensured that you went about your demonstration peacefully, there was one also last weekend, peacefully without any attempt at preventing you from expressing yourselves. We will continue to allow for that peaceful expression of ourselves in this country under President Mahama. Nobody is going to inhibit or stop anybody from going that. That should tell you that President Mahama, in less than 120 days, has demonstrated how he is going to save the democracy of Ghana. He is going to grow the democracy of this country, and we are going to be together. We will work together.
And friend, this is to you. The language is very respectful and decent and expresses our views because we know we are addressing the president. We hope that it shall receive the needed.
Yeah, and rather save the judiciary demonstration. The NPP, NFA, coalition of political parties. And crying on presenting petitions to the necessary quarters. But by tell any woman drew Supreme Court, there were some struggles a course. Now security no more no na one person the leaders of the group no ebewura the premises of the court. Enti ekoye pinten kakra ema video ye capture honorable Alexander Kwamna afenyo mark him say watu ni say pia one of the policemen na womo eboban enso ewo ho. And with that we issue a statement or chemu de esi potin and rather ewo court premises wo. But answer no yankwa ahoma no so na ye the Western Regional Communications Director New Patriotic Party Yera Isa Fuseni and ninkomo emfa save our judiciary demonstration of course so enra. And fortunately for us now our grounds will be Director no pay good morning.
Good morning.
Ohonamu boko dia.
Mo papa na wo say.
Yes, so adom yanso ye ho yema omoni adwuma yema minority group no NFA MPP and a political parties in Ghana for be boaye and regina yema mu nyina no omoni adwuma ma kire se o man Ghana edam akoma so nyame nhira mo bebrebe e wa na mo amutu ye nra why.
Yes, that's papa.
Right. Adope ye frɛ wo a de nra course so e demonstration ase na ye pe update kakra. And so the ama ye tiefo ne ya hwefo wanda roma mo sha ase no ekoko wie sei.
Hello.
Yes sir, me ba jo timinka
Online na ka no.
All right, ba timinka sisi a
o break
o timinka sisi a
I am timinka.
All right, now me bisa say from the start to the end of the demonstration there na oni ebedi hu komo afa ene anopay shase say ewie say there na all the parties in ehwe anim say ebe kono sa pepe ne koya na
Yo that's it.
Right.
My man they can chill. Na Western region for you na. Na ntia o producers so na party tenye fa omo odi eni chill bibiara. Enura na no hobby. I think before Enura Nampo, I started advertising save demo the judiciary demonstration. I started advertising it somewhere around Thursday, Friday up to Monday. Na bibi ambako biya mshada t-shirt. Enura anapa somewhere around 5 to 6 in the morning. Nkofusha sike omo egada ewa Jubilee what do you call it, Parliament House. Him one na amanfusha sike egada. But that time no na me a radio program to me call a TV program. So we put in on there me join me team no. Mobile no na no asha se do mobile. So people thought that the mo would not fly. But nkakran domo mobile never kada ya bie o mo baby. Sana ebinmu egada wa baby to come together. That ebe ya ombetum ananto efa street no mo abegane. Nti ye fi Parliament House and nanto we are fa offending the be around about you are friends a city house area hodmo e fa hodmo ba pewa main road no do e court team Afritico na ending wa Jubilee House entrance or the Jubilee House or two entrance.
That's right.
Baku ewa inside the hobby be a president fa. Ana workers were for what do inside the reception no one again one fight. But main road need to entrance no. Oye opposite with the light perpetual flame no.
Okay.
Na ekwa gina. Na police for the barristers are block road no. Until now you be no access to the main gate. The main gate to hold most na staff no ebegina ya oji petition no.
Okay.
Until some few dignitaries like Afenyo Markin, like Osit Educhum, like John Boydu, Nana B, and then other different parties and leaders, you know, plus my own boss, Dr. Akinyagba. Now, many other people are almost empty to no they gave them the way. Now, more echo inside representative petition. No, next, now, your mountain system. Our car, a trailer, not big one, but no, a Kia trailer. Now, it's all Mukojina, the Mukia, no so normal address. Gathering the hormone now, Mukojina, Ama, Afenyo Markin, every day, the petition to the public. They acquire a representative the Jubilee House.
Okay.
And the Ohana somewhere around at the end somewhere around 1 o'clock. Now, you didn't dinner at the baby at that
it is not about
I see.
retaliating.
And you know, it was very peaceful and very successful.
Very peaceful. Me, I was a simple surprise. The Abaya, yet to Abademano just 4 months. People will be so aggrieved. People will be so annoyed. And people will be disappointed. There. Abaying way back, just 4 months. And say, now if they are organizing, people will say, though, Abaying way are too young. But you can see the aggressiveness. Oh, it was marvelous. And very peacefully, police phone so no more agents main road. They thought maybe they were going to create some kind of violence or so. Main road na police phone agent no have protection. So my
Nobody is going to inhibit
the say enter. Jubilee House of Hormone. Not make a home, but I decided to just stay away and stand somewhere because some dignitaries you are hormone part or mobile and some Mujana inside the hormone political hormone. Many public dreamers or more. And say, yes, you were but it was peacefully. They were able to settle that.
Okay. Wadaruma, what is the next line of action for the minority, the new patriotic party are more leading demonstration way after say more petition president?
Well, we have aired our grievances to the Ghanaian people. And are there down there democracy and Takoradi and in no and to say Ghana for your margin. Nasa John Muhammad on see the Ghana for Ekano. No, of course, no, or ya. No, who so no ba. Yambo, the other or no, neighbor. And saying, ya submit your petition. Ya can't yagan, the old year say, oh, yeah, the system no more, ya packet judiciary, said the ever ya, or Mubach Maya, the Omope, and these plans in Yano air. To stage a comeback of John Mahama, just like to make a third term of John Mahama. We know their plan. And see, all these judges are parking 7 judges or more appointed. Young Chief Justice now Yamfa Obifufu and Fambra. It's not about following the due process. And I'm baby. And yeah, about following the due process. What even trigger the petition? That is where we are looking at. Obi Wahormano Akato there. Oh, okay, Obi Nchira Bibi Mahama abridge the constitution. No. Due process no they want follow. But what triggered the petition? Then the amount for petitions in the buy. No, what the buy, no. Engineer Super and the President Muhammad Dokuya or establish a prima facie case. Engineer Super, petitions now, what the buy, no, the Guinness war. What the committee of my investigation, mammy. And say, Ghana, dear, maybe I will do no. And I'm a kind of baby say. Chief Justice, you were on one over no Chief Justice in the Kata or Zima. The best thing that I say is to say the petition from against the lady.
Issues were brought to him.
Whether how frivolous the petition will be.
That is what President Mahama has done.
Now, what I think that's why a Chief Justice
retaliating on something
is that how we are going to practice democracy?
Administration
and only President Mahama, I know another lawyer be aging come out there. They are testing the Article 146.
I do believe that if the committee
so 1957. From 1957 now 1960
to be 101.3
up to date, you know. Then the Article 147 no be testing Mahama no about test Article 146
on him. I can assure you.
So is that the reason why you are removing the Chief Justice?
That we
so me to me, or a president or don't because no Chief Justice, Chief Justice here no one more even when the man wanted to remove what do you call him Justice Apollo, he didn't pass through this process.
Expressing yourselves,
but it was also rejected.
Peaceful expression. Of ourselves in
so, the air council was Ghana, no. Ghana needs should be very worried. And I said it somewhere too.
Less than 120 days. How he is going to save the democracy.
Yeah, abrogated the presidency. That's the executive.
He's going to grow the democracy.
They are dissolved parliament. That is the legislature.
That's right.
The only arm that is left the judiciary.
That's right.
Now, President Mahama, you remember the book title? My coup d'etat.
My first coup d'etat.
My first coup d'etat.
That's right.
That is what is playing back democratic coup d'etat. Because the two let's say abrogated 2 arms of government. President Mahama also the
chief of staff.
So you can see how serious it is.
On behalf of the president,
because as a tool, the beer ever confident, I ever go to charge you, no. On a court,
that's right.
For the attention of
the president. Ghana higher court to see a tutunate. Nay, I'm fine, you are court, no. Yeah, again. Now, I'm out for losing confidence in the court system. Do you think
that in itself
a rule of law will be working in Ghana? Lawlessness will be everywhere because Nipano say Osikani made na I don't know court because court na me confidence woro.
Okay, that ampacho say TV bi ben wa wadaroma lo wana kakra my feedback.
No see fortunately my room there is no TV.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right. Okay.
But I'm just I'm trying to I think it's okay now.
Yeah, I think so. What are you doing come
So what I'm trying to tell you today, if confidence, anyone more not have freedom for court, Mahama
does not believe
in politics or the Assembly Baba.
He's described as
Ghana for Bibiara or Manchester and Paul.
Everybody knows that.
What's the one also and Paul one?
Yes.
Because Ghana has the Abano and Paul.
With the provisions
and because of that, one or two other. And no one should no account.
Before President Akufo-Addo,
started the judiciary because judiciary necessary on the destroy we don't know where to go. MPP for I think we are about 4 political parties together. Na grievances. And no, I'll be catching them say you're crying exercise. No problem. They will not listen to us.
So
we have our grievances. If they did not listen, future will judge both of us.
Okay. That ama yana sepa no pay bread wa daja when yadia maye. Very well. You know, the Western Regional Communications Director of the New Patriotic Party, Yera Isa Fuseni ena yenene di eye enkomo no some 23 minutes gone past the hour 7 you know the enema no gusu Americans yene Isa kodi nkomo no there were some struggles between the demonstrators and the security personnel and our grounds especially at the Supreme Court na yera Alexander Kwame na afenyo marking on video no say mensa park Accra mane ekopim police ni bi na NDC fo hunu sa video na wo ahyase propaganda say yenkwa kire honorable Alexander Kwame na afenyo marking e die ntia wa so to a policeman na am say eh there's a moment there bibi ekowu e be kra meboa bibi ekowu e be kra mo on that particular note no the Osahene Alexander Kwame na afenyo marking e the statement aba wo kire mu adekode airport yesi ye o say wo mo ebe ho no one of the policeman na or behind the barricade no epim eye ne kokoso na wapim ne kokoso no honorable Alexander Kwame na afenyo marking say o feel some pain e won ne kokoso especially that of the left side of his chest enti no pofri mu na se na nani so ebe se brim ne kakra enti na am so in protesting say ne police ni ye no e affecting no e no so eto ne nsa wo de pre ne kakra na wenye ade bia ere se ne amanfo ka se wa so to a police officer no say enya sa na etie enti no we release a statement or clarify near a course so adano ada between honorable Alexander Kwame na afenyo marking ena policeman no na owo barricade no echi ho no enti no and also enkomo and also ewo ha sei me pa chao and rather President John Dramani Mahama etimi elanche some code of conduct for government workers wo memo ase na workers are no dey to gase any adaro that was set deadline at the na appointees nyina say by 31st March 2025 no dey na SSS Mahama appointee bia no declare asset obe declare asset anya sa any deadline do na on declare asset na obe nyina ne say wo be pamo no agi position wo dey ama wo no enso e dey free nsemo na deadline ba ya no appointees over 55 and one more entie ensemo a President Mahama ekayero they did not declare their assets and ebisa say etide na President Mahama be ya fa wo betimi and the next form asebo punishment wo ka say wo de be masafo ni nyina no ana na to the surprise of many President Mahama mounted podium ma wakasa dia fa asset declaration hono was say one more at the first match no duru no one more declare mo asset na no and they are going to forfeit their 3 months salary salaries ni nyina ye de ko gu Ghana Medical Trust Fund no mo Mahama Cares Fund no ye de akwa gumu etino the free why buy I don't know etino on your screen right now a government spokesperson and a presidential spokesperson Felix Kwachufo so say President John Mahama sanctions appointees who defaulted on asset declaration by 31st March. They are to forfeit 4 months salary and donate same to the Ghana Medical Trust Fund. All defaulters have up to close of day tomorrow to declare their assets or they stand automatically dismissed. Where the Felix Kwachufo so they buy one also 4 months salary and Ghana Medical Trust Fund no more and the free communication and communication a free and central for a coach media na be buy and so 3 months it's play which is it 4 months for feature or 3 months way there and also everywhere ever but President Mahama eka sa asem no ye bisa say and as a president no want me and decide a man ho as a president no and waka samua want me fast somebody nya adwuma na nyina okromu ase na abeka say one more by 31st March no one declare mo asset nyina no and wo be pam wo nyina that was a punishment President Mahama set aside for one more and declare one asset and I want to be declare one asset no and no e ban say dia na asinti nei president no to me kita no a one ka say opunu na opunu enne went me amfa saa emra ne san hye na anya adwuma na wan pam eye na appointees a omdi 40 year in declaring their asset dem mo no was say ene wo mo bosome me ensa akatua no yantua fa momo na mo no yade kwa kogu Ghana America Trust Fund no mu me pa cho President John Dramani Mahama Ghana for were expecting you to at least and she said the buy no what the buy adwuma na was sacking one pabo the defaulters but what did we see when to me afasa emra no wa the buy na anya adwuma and then you are handling your own appointees with a kid gloves and the president na yaku animu no and what the directive be ba one be so code of conduct you call and chain and run kra no based on the nra with regards to asset declaration when to me amfa na yansi from ampabu wo mu default to ye no sa code of conduct now call and chain and run no enya de be adwuma e wo mamu ase I am telling you sanka utimi pamu wo mu default ye no a anka wo mu code of conduct now launch de ma wo mu enra no whereas from the adwuma come be say how serious you are with regards to a yes code of conduct no nanso no when to me amfa koto anyankwan na mo say area wo bosome anan ene bosome miensa akatua do nyade aye tua de amomo ya de kwa support to ye Ghana America Trust Fund no me ba in any case adentina bosome miensa pe ye adentina bosome miensa akatua pe ena ya de support to Ghana America Trust Fund no me ba se o ma eye ye kan say punishment madie emu ohye sare be ya da foforo no what the directives be ba wo mo be bo ho hu say ha ada no ada de obeka ye na ya ni so no ensusuanso we na ba ye entene de odi aba de be di so 3 months ye be dey 3 months na be dey in any case ya shase ebisa se na ye to memu ase we bi asida ya kai President John Mahama ebe ka kire se I think in 2015 say and ye wo mo e kwa kosisi chips compound ewo eye ya kan say enkrase ba bia ni aye ka say chips compound enie entino Mahama appointee bia no emomoden the 10% salary yentini afan ko bua na afan sisi aye chips compound no be pa chaw ekọ wi akire no na sa sika sem no kura aye de ja wo memu ase be pa chaw fa yes publication to so mame fa publication to so mame yete de course wo kro mu ase eko wi akire na eto abati aye President Mahama ne na appointees no wo mu ko no sa 10% no am se wo motete ye say ya de kwa sisi chips compound no wo mu san so kwaji wo musika President Mahama reverse sika de mamo or backdate sika de mamo etinu wey enye ade foforo ye ni mu de dada etinu Ghana Web publication or say some Mahama appointees secretly took back their 10% pay cut Auditor General wey publication at Ghana Web publication at Ghana Web with regards to that 10% pay cut under President John Mahama the first time no what they buy say and they can say and nkroforo ya tete say 10% na ya de akwa akoye we ekọ wi ache no wo mo fa back door ekokoji wo musika Auditor General and this report we e buy etino difference be na what the enay President Mahama dia betu mu no mu difference be na wo mu abusua yes say the to me ma wa as a so what as a president of Ghana for nya omugidie ato aba yi if indeed say wo ba no boss a wo share say ene wo mu ba be ya adwuma wa ba mu nyina no enya de a de ensem fata obehwe wa ma o maye na de wa sha ase a wo ayoyi ebe kwa ko wie ni sheri entino that is it and rather President Mahama say wo mo matimi and declare mo asset nyina no and ye ombusume miensa akatua ne ya ye ka sei enya de a ye de ma wo mo we eye ensemu a efiri hu a eno nso eba be pa twa no pe mi bi sasem bi wo be kaya from January eba be si I think last month and ye security agencies e wo memu asey atimi arrest eye cocaine amanfo di akotene wo memu asey and cocaine worth over $500 million abaya watiswe security agencies wo mo ye adwuma ma abaya say ya tire sa parcel of cocaine worth $500 million no me pacha under any serious jurisdiction anka wo make such an arrest at least as one babe brief Ghana for ya to abaya etuato no say baby asa ansem we akwakoduru enie free January besi ya carry say April bosumi ya besi ko ye what any update from the security agencies with regards to seizure of cocaine ebedi akoti no mamu ase what ho enkomo ana what ho enkomo asemo amebisa asemo ayebisa se sa cocaine no aban seize ye no adabraka sa cocaine no seize ye no worth $500 million no details are a wo hu esese Ghana fo ehunu no. Why is the government keeping such details from the ordinary Ghanaian taxpayer? Adia nasi enene nansa ade yasanso kire cocaine wo memu ase na to the surprise of many Ghanaians no ya kire cocaine no ade akwachen ya Kotoka International Airport enyina monkane wo nyina dum entino esum kumo when a Ghana fo bi mu kase ye and your man come who bia wo mo ba between their famu biam wo mo ba between their famu na wo bi hunu no okokoka akwakoye bibia ewo ho etino ye bisa na no pay say over $500 million worth of cocaine abay security agencies no. Why are they keeping the details from the ordinary Ghanaian taxpayer? A critical question. And I hear Bisa President John Dramani Mahama. And I say, you can't say, narcotic control for, and I say, one more a kebia a womu, a somewhat ye bisa. Etino, breakdown of $452.1 million worth of cocaine busted in Ghana in March 2025, you know, and I was screen, you know. Etino, on 28th March in Cape Coast, you know, and cocaine worth $350 million. Yes, we must say Kabo. 5th March, Takoradi, cocaine worth $150 million. Yes, we must Kabo. And crime. 20th March, cocaine worth $2.1 million. Yes, we must Kabo. Last month, so yachiri cocaine. And you say details. Sasa wamodema Ghana nino. Why is the government keeping such details from the Ghanaian taxpayer? President John Dramani Mahama, ona obeka say wa mamuo de emubeda o Frimpong Ghana ni no emfa ni ba bia wo ne akoso wo mamu nyina de akoso wo mamu mu nyina no obema Ghana fo ate eno nti na ultimate crab budget 78 million Ghana cedis adema kwachiwo fo su say on communicated de akoso wo abamu fa ma Ghana fo no fa Ghana fo nso ensem wo mo kan so fa nkoma aban etino enei sa cocaine no ehon komo pa de we ya adopay ye bisasa asem we your excellency President John Dramani Mahama details essential Ghana ni no enya with regards to the arrested cocaine parcels no ko ne ba nyina no as we speak now no emaye yenim we are in the known yenim hwe me amitie kura me ntimi nkire ba bia ensem na kwakoduru entino what is preventing government to issue some communique or come out to inform the ordinary Ghanaian say sa cocaine na ye kire ye no baby a ehun nsem akwakoduru enso enie. What is preventing President John Dramani Mahama and the security details of this country said wamo MIA the necessary and the required information on sa cocaine wa ye kire ye no adopay asemu a ye bisa President Mahama and NDC enso I don't know afei President John Dramani Mahama 18 team some 120-day social contract what the bomb said nyame na dum no be ma mpani ya de to ka konwa so a free day de to be ka konwa so no ekwa akosi bosome ɛnan a ɛwɔ yɛ nimu no wɔbɛbɔ mɔden ɛnneɛma wɛni ɔpɛ so ɔyɔ mepaakyɛw ayo a wɔyɛ sɛ nyame adom a wɔkyena ɛna saa 120 days no ne nyinaa no ɛso anɔpɛ yi yɛbɛhwɛ yɛ saa promises a President Mahama emeki yɛ no ɛwɔ first 120 day no mu no na yɛtumi ahwɛ dodo a wɔtumi adu so ɛne deɛ wɔntumi enni so na ɛnɛyi sɛ saa wɔ ne bɛwu nyame adom a wɔkyena a ɛmra aka no yɛ kumaa bi ɛmra aka no ɛyɛ kumaa bi aka just 24 hours na saa wɔ ne awu so far bɔhyɛ dodoɔ sɛ ɛna President Mahama atumi adi so 120 day no ayelapse ewu nyame adom a ɛda kyena MC roll out ɛyɛ saa bɔhyɛ no ɛwɔ screen so ba yɛ na fei yɛmfa no baako na menu mienu yɛmu ho akontane yɛhwɛ sɛ ne President Mahama kaeɛ no watimi ayɛ ana sɛ wantimi anyo etino on your screen no ɛyɛ Mahama's first 120 day social contract with the people of Ghana. 1. Nominate within the first 14 days the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval. Abusuya eno no ye makina na ye retinwa ye ma 100%. When Timia nominate ye all the cabinet ministers within the first 14 days. I feel say constitute the leanest government most efficient government under the Fourth Republic in my first 90 days in office. And also no abusuya went to me end so establish a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials. And on enra wako establish ye no. And on enra wako establish ye no. Etino eno ma yankwa o man so tew emra na yeni eye enkomo na yeni yewra Hereford ayerakwa oye a development economist ewo eye UPSC na enekura de ne ababeka wo no abusua ehyenkura papa ebrebra ye ka sei oye a fellow Africa Policy Lens APL. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. University of Ghana, rather. Not
University of Ghana.
You.
Okay. University of Ghana. Very well. Doc, Anope Bokwodie. Very well. Wadaruma, President John Dramani Mahama, and ye Wabano, what in Timaya and Krata said. Damian Adumo Beman Penia. The first 120 days in office no and yama baku bi rumi yansa we no obeyo nyame adum ene Ghana fo ato aba ma ro ma mpani e datina sa 120 days no e so anesa on the economy ye rate President John Dramani Mahama based on the first 120 days social contract with Ghanaians mo amakwadare we ye economics mu yi akosi say wadaroma eto say esa no a wonam so no eno no bosha wo share for economy no ho no e won 120 day social contract mu no eno anu wonam mu no ana se baabi onam no kura no eye baabi a enka bosha no ho baabi kura
That's bebre ofa eboa amampani ehye efa economy ho o kan be nyama bebre or establish the leanest government in the Fourth Republic. To be fair, he has what on paper looks like the leanest government. And on paper, it looks just like that. And I would say that from other pieces of work BIIM, we rate him about 80% in terms of that, because by way of establishing the leanest government he has done. Even though one to me achieving we also look at issues around national economic dialogue. He had indicated that he would organize a national economic dialogue. Indeed, that has taken place, but the dividends or the aftermath of the national economic dialogue It just become a checkbox. Yafe in SEMA, National Economic Dialogue, and its implication on the overall economic decisions of the country. And over there, we have been able to, we rated him 60% in that area. He wanted to scrap certain taxes. Yes, we scrapped some of those taxes. There are still taxes that, for me, are biting even harder, but these taxes still find themselves in the space. And yes, he done some of them, but I am person to clarify. Taxes need to what to say emission levy tax, betting tax, which was approved. Unfortunately, it was not implemented because the bodies responsible had raised concern, but the former government didn't take steps to reverse to the status quo, and so also was scrapped. But how do you scrap something that has never been implemented? So, but it was just sitting in our books. So here, all he has done is to expunge it from the books, not scrap. And so also, you think you want to reform SOEs, which is the number 26 promise now. You want to expunge SOE, reform SOEs. So far, what we have seen is that audits have been initiated. And so on a scale of 1 to 5, we put him at 1, and that's 20% of that activity. He wants to lift ban on salvage vehicles. Near also so far consultations. And so we have rated him at APL at 15% for that. Another thing now can say job program. I mean, coders apprenticeship program. No? Yes, it's been launched and all that. But launching and actually creating a different thing.
Yeah.
And what we have decided to do is to look at the fine details, and we have scored him 25% of that. You take another thing like export development policy. I think he talked about Export Development Council, which, it has not started yet. So we are rating him quite low for that. The almighty 24-hour economy policy is still at the initial stages. They themselves are not clear what they want to do. And so we have rated him 15% for that. And it's still a conversation that is going on, and we are hoping that we'll be able to have a more a detailed analysis, which is ongoing. But this is the highlight of it. And overall, when you look at the overall picture, if you ask me what I think, this is my personal opinion. I think so far he has done below 50% of his own promises on the economy.
I see.
And I think that there's more room for improvement.
All right. A presidential staffer, minim say, Onena have encountered that Joyce Boa Muktari. I say,
right.
So far, President John Dramani Mahama, Eddie, will Timmy deliver on his 120-day promise, what they Emma Ghana for. And Yebisa say, Adabraka, APL, and somewhat, Mami, Kane, Monena agreement ye na.
Of course, politicians will always be politicians. And so we want to, in China's political lens, we are looking at it as an independent analyst who look at issues irrespective of. And so I would want to put the methodology I will use, we are then analyze it, reduce the conclusion now we're making. If we are able to do that, then we can say, okay, but now can square and and so that's, I don't think that I would only take that. I prefer, as an academic, I prefer the technical issues, the methodology into it. So there will be other things and then everybody can calculate and come to the same conclusion.
Doc, my emfa unsi ase na yenhwe se APL mu wie eye mo we ni nyina no a data mo be ba mountain no so no ye betimi no wadi ho enkomo nti no anope ye da ase papa open no wada agya wanya de amaye
but that's been great
very well on sure on so nti no that was Dr. Hayford Ayirakwa or a development economist, University of Ghana, or so a fellow Africa Policy Lens APL. And you know, say in a nutshell, no overall, no already President John Dramani Mahama on the 120-day social contract with Ghanaians on the economy, woman below 50%, below 50%. Wow, share so. Wadwenkyerɛ deɛ wɔ ya yɛbɛmu akonya na wafra ba so no aba bɛka wadwenkyerɛ but yɛn delve deep into saa social contract no ɛbɛwu nyame admo kyena and on galamsey ɛbɛdi ho nkɔmɔ on women empowerment nso ɛbɛdi ho nkɔmɔ kakra na yɛahwɛ baabi asusuan yɛde brɔdeɛ ho no nso ɛkɔ akɔgu nti MCR fa yɛ President Mahama ne social contract no ɛto screen so ma me na afei yɛn kai yɛn ho na yɛntimi ni ho abɔbɔ deɛ dika ɔse nominate within the first 14 days the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval. They constitute the leanest and most efficient government under the Fourth Republic in my first 90 days in office. Establish a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials. Hold a national economic dialogue to discuss the true state of the economy and prepare a homegrown fiscal consolidation program to guide the budget. I feel within my first 90 days in office, scrap the following draconian taxes to alleviate hardships and ease the high cost of doing business. That is the E-levy, COVID levy, 10% levy on bet winnings, and emission levy. E-levy, it has been scrapped. COVID levy, still, even though COVID-19 is no more in the country, but President Mahama obekaya wo banda no sobo said COVID-19 no man hu habiem I don't know that's what COVID-19 levy no ba obeyi afri ho adabra ka oba ye no why e-levy afri ho. What is going on with regards to abolishing the COVID-19 levy? Ayasem sebe 10% levy on bet winnings. Why you free ho? Emission levy abanda na I implement it. Entino eno no ne ho asam yemfa nkoto baabi. Owi an say within my first 90 days in office, review taxes and levies on vehicle and equipment imported into the country for industrial and agricultural purposes. Adano adana wo kra niama afram no ne ba extra ne se sa boshe na obehye ye ne se ene ye wo ba no wo ba be yi some taxes bia eye nuisance ukoyi niama afri port abandon and gu eye niama no so no wo so oba be yi de afri ho. And indeed specifically or say any obe review taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported into the country for industrial and agricultural purposes. Your Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, when are you starting the review process? Commence drafting needed legal amendments and prepare for implementing the 24-hour economy policy under the office of the president. Wadaroma, keep us in the known. My hunu di eko was Odeba a State of the Nation address who said the budget is going to address all these problems and all these policies, especially the 24-hour economy policy. Wadaroma, Finance Minister bedroom na sebe de fie so no onso be ka de foforo said ya ma ne bre na wo mu ko tintim 24-hour economy blueprint ne fambra emetum na sebe de fie no mu ni ho abobo free time wa kenkan budget ne bepem ne yante ho enkomoye entino Wadaroma 120 day no ewu otena entino on drafting 24-hour economy policy no its implementation Wadaroma onso we fail yenko the next one. The next one. And to say, establish an accelerated export development council to promote export as part of a broader strategy for economic transformation. Wadaroma, AEDC, no, a whole encomo eti saying you have not established any accelerated export development council. etino eno so ebisa ho asem convene a national consultative conference on education to build consensus on needed improvements to the sector. Indeed, and there was a conference on education. Yes, there was a conference on it. Why yes, a dialogue no. Why? But the details with regards to educational dialogue no, as we speak now no, Ghana nino enimu entino wadaroma ehonso no check ona diwa enkomo famaye. Implement the no academic fee policy for all first year students in public tertiary institutions, universities, colleges of education, nursing training institutions, etc. Bepachaw sa no academic fee policy no wadaroma and Oma education minister and the deputy beka say wamo educate triano and aban better fund this Osikani dia mom the deputy education minister beka say aban no sabia buru sabia kudonto woni sa data no woni sa hoden no a wamo medical triano wamo ebomode na eneya yakasai watimi ayewe yes etino ehon nsam no ade akwache ya. There was a statement from the scholarship secretariat. Mo kire say enei scholarship secretariat no and partner na sa no academic fee policy no wo implement na wo ntua usika fama yes afo no wadaroma yesremo get fund na scholarship secretariat ne ho ahwan no enye eno na be use na as a vehicle to implement sa no academic fee policy no wadaroma sambra biemu afei enkoma ba ko a wode to dwa ene Ghana fo nyina no ye born abaso no ene se wababa modern ama ene the affirmative action bill 2025 masebe fo atimi aye we no wona nsa be hihya ase na afei ne ya ka say one make good use of it and or make promises say waba appoint ye 30% of women into his government, but all deliver the state of the nation address, or say as at that time, no Timmy and make up 23.21% of a year. You can say women appointees in his government. Wadaruma ehono ehon komo ete saying. Yakwa manusuni the Western Regional Women's Organizer. Ya Josephine Odum Obatanpa edi eye enkomo. Obaya no pewti enka ma yamo achemu akwaba aha Western Diamond Television wontumi radio ohona mo boko de
ya medie na gopo adawo ma no hoye pa no mo pa chomo sinu mo tutai
Yesu adom yenso ye hoye na no pay pa Dedika yenhwe Western Region NPP ema no sign na mutie ya to aba wie nkugu aba strategy be na the women's wing ekeka sia ni said be ya ye betimi asanso aye remobilization na yakeke ho abomu ama women's wing na timi agina na so de edikai no
so we mesre na nechia otiefo na etiefo na mu na achi they say na yo yo osika medase edikai no yen ema yo Western Region there Raho said, Amanyo Kua, Winida, in Swadu Vision. Na Aboteka crying into Yachosa, Amanyo Kuno action. Emma, Amanyo Robert Naswa, ye winya, say, boo, say, oh, you won't have cost. Na ile muno by the finance people nti yede na se na proposal so ni onu na nimye oye na eye e ma oye ma na ma nti yede na se saba ni se yehu ma bebu enne na nsa mi kodwom na mi kodwom no mi ko tomatoes se tomatoes ba ko se 5 cents to be 101.3 and 920 cents. So ya papa na dodanko ekufu ado ne ya papa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia omoti akonya no so na tomatoes ni 2 cedis nti ko joma ya mo 10 cedis yes na enye yempe ya papa onwaye yasesem actually you rule see there adobo you 25 cities about you tin nke bia di na make ho adanse and more according just surprises are possible no make bia koso sebe yemi etutu akayense ya wa wo ya ho ye ho seta ye ho and this is no western region for no and man ye wom no ye try say but ye chichi ye re ni akaya kuma atu ye yem na ya say yankopon say o man ya moden ye die bi woni mu and waba nti ya die no ko dem say ayate akọ ni ko fo bebre akasa o dum so manu mo na de ni akofa abatu yesu na kapre like akuni say e man do na ye addresses Ghana and man do na addresses do na ye man sorry that is the statement addresses do na ye man at the time for do na ye man omo ko stop do na ye man when we need that so say maybe me kwakoda soro tama ko me shop kan na e be siso ana enso just say ya rohusam na ne meka go sini say em say Ghana for ye di Ghana for ya Ghana for na ka ye di Ghana for ama kan ma say be yen na ye hwefi yen na ye meka say hwefi and just say ya papa no so ya papa no mko adwuma yen ye hwefi ama ya papa no emema na baba be train say efie bibia dadin na wo hwefi na efie bibia e wo fiji mo asen bibia papa be aduane yin ready and I do so papa so beka so da ho na me hwe se bibia ye fam so so de ye be da ye adwuma this is bibia mu no bibia say so Osikani ye de ya start ya ye chichi re so mo de munya botre ye tie bia hwe nan no e be ba na hwe ya sign at the Ghana is bibia e fata say is
I see Obaya President John Mahama ene wobehye Ghana fo nyina ne titru emma abose na ba mu de na mamu yi de ene emma 30% na woni omo ebeye adwuma sa abose a wo hye no ene ya ye kase wa making appointments ni nyina wie na emma dodo a ewo mu no wadaroma based on bose a wono abehye ye no eto say watimi ate emma nimu ama emma eye quota ewo eye na mamu mu ana
sure Madam Osikani any kind of I get back from the person and say member the current president Accra. Born Accra. It's say in the first time in the history of Ghana, Wamen Oba vice president. You say the born why are there? Why are there? Yeah, man, you see, no way. Be so be any so no fano. And look at the Accra.
The vice president.
I mean, vice president, na kunye so po. I mean, when you know, cannot be a papa ba me waya, your papa Mahama waya je. So I set this our recording, and it's going to be the history of Ghana. So only na do about first vice president. No, me should say, your papa Mahama. I'm so who Ghana for your dreams and your dream family. Today be an opposite that the cocoa, the John. Would your bar put the man is seeing him a mouth farmer. As I'm speaking, yeah, papa, the cabinet ministers, so you're 19.
Radio.
You're 19, as far as I can remember. Some you're wronger, I stand to be corrected. And when you knew and telling us. Yeah, papa, and another club, we are man, and then minute. What do you mean? But it's a 15 a young man. This is a no. Now, who say, meanwhile, yeah, papa, and I don't know, say, on na, young man, Pamano, who can go to pass him some Pamano, who not pass it affirmative action bill. On pass it. Who do you didn't so man, you look at any room. Into one never came a man. Said, did you see about one manaka? Said, I want to so no you do and some cabinet or no baby anymore. It will face all the air upon waiting the Dickana phone number. A person, you know, who so mad torso one when you say, justice oba na ka wo de bu eni poku so aya na me just omo dey compare your friend say electoral commission oba na and before so ebe yi na wo hwe mo enye omo nka so commissioners no free no me nsa na bo a deputy commissioner omo na omo ko no man nka so tutu omo we do so see some crowd won't you want na ka wo also pay ma asem de na nka papa no nka wo yo man wo jo Ghana for wo de na nka wa frɛ maame see me ekoso na esa se minim se wo ye Ghana ni na ade nyina eji adanse se you are a judge na wo san ye opa na mesrɛ so wo ye bibi na nya judge na nya bio na wo ye set examples say wo de wo ye mampani ase bo pe ma asem no bibi wo ti bibi na se enya wo ti di oba na one ne kasa to we dwuma so na mu sai we ni me ni nzo nti ne so jaye ano ema wo ye ni papa na ema wo ye mu se bo dan so be ye reset na ni wo pa ma amanfo ema na nsa na me ni obi di nkomo ma yi o mwedi e we dwuma mu na me hwem say papa reset na wo be kan no when you see my new necessary some eni na chikra wo so ye te say say or the bed to kwan so you crying and your papa mahama on the bad boy etu kwan so ye wan or official duty odini papa echi na no ni enja take it am no ono ni an hotel amanande say your papa Muhammad said, "Can manager? Me Osikani. We don't know that dying.
I see.
Or that dying, or they are telling you so. But if you are just all that dying, if you are just all that dying."
Enti bossa wa share say at least a ma 30% de won benya akwanya asom ewo na mamuo mu no obatampa ya Josephine unu say we fairly we timi anye
when I know what's the ratio? Who cabinet ministers 91 I was 90. Let me look at what is the ratio? What's the ratio? Let us say a 5% ground for mine.
Yeah.
In Sinano de Osikani, your papa Mahama. See a boon, my boon, my papa Nana goes on the cry at the cry channel.
I see.
I am the cry channel.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. One issue any affecting a year and ma regions ahudu ni nyina mu the termination of a year appointment ma wo memu ase nya ye enro nuane e de ama eye enkwada wo mo ekọ eye school feeding program no aban sesa ye na ban we ba ye no o se wa terminate eye contract ni nyina ama emana no demu denden a wo mo sere se aban sanso momoden na won sanso fa school feeding program no emra biem na ema no so enkonko ye wom adwuma as the regional women's organizer of the new patriotic party sa eye ade ye president Mahama aba terminate no ade na wo kan dia fa ho on behalf of women in the region.
Papa wo samo ene na samo ha no ebi frem na when ko tutu akom se ese ya nse na mbo mo nkayo nte bia kwakudu ni dwa ebi akoyesi akotwhwe nyoma akot ode fa ni ebi frem nini yire tutu aka ni nsim papa na nini na na ye futu ni adusua de so maye nso enye abatwo kekewo enye se bibia na se I mean, yet castle number why yes, it mean got twaba. One got twaba, and you should be saying about so. I know sometimes people want to yeah, oh my, you know, I'm doing Jamia's team. And I said, Papa, I also miss you, Mr. This no good one way. Like I said, to be contract to Crana, and I'm an American campo, like it's okay, yeah. This month media because I found money on Mokai. And I people have been yes, Yadiomo. Yayo Massa. You won't break a crack. And Sana. Yeba this. I notify nipa. I'm a good baby no baby go fear. Me be our oransa. Na mama go fear business is free nature and my year try and it's a mess. You should be big crime film. Sama papa was so na yet general crana. Ya yen say papa musu kakra. You know musu kakra ntwe your pen. And you be necessary you di na me go to aba na me go yese. And you so me be so better. And no man better say your man not talk no. Yet in the next 4 years we are going to live in this calamity. You better so ya we na and yes am get to. So Satan no di 26 years am who say but the time me be ya do ma MPP be say happen. I 2028 or be say happen. Me 30 years. Yes, 4 years na ka bi anka wo dey akọ with him and na ka bibi appointment slip. I would say me ndi bia no. If you na kosi be sia, o me nya botre kakra. Ya di yawdi na me go to aba no, na me go yese ya. So say, and I remind you. So Osikani ayawo wusam pa na so. Say it's musa.
Okay.
We go be no me, nyame. Nyame ani no so friend. So boy, no pe kwan bi so no check. Na be fi.
Okay. Obaya ma ya na ase anope na ye mfa wensi ase. Ye ku animu no ye be so.
Mami ka bi ka transfer. Na form Takoradi Western region form. Mama agree pe for say agro be so if you not.
Right.
Na papa na now do obetanso. The major policy was free SHS.
That's right.
Na papa ba here one that year now no implement it free SHS. Yeah, what day then so yeah. Yeah, papa, the major policy was 24-hour economy. Oba I say the way. Oba say yambo say yamma no mo ko university first year no ombenya no free. We are few. Esra Ghana ma Western region for na yen South so ni bio. And man na yen kan yen timambom yen pagya yen ho waka. Entire MPP abayechi oho and not to me the emiswadi uba no versus emiswadi no ebebem okay me sramo na kan yan won kan so mo no hwe yen nyina so na tin na yen to yen ni tumbo cheku ni yen fa ban papa no efensi so na me sramo Osikani
so ya da se papa ntino ya Josephine Odume na yen na din komo no Western Regional Women's Organizer of the New Patriotic Party. Some 11 minutes gone past the hour 8. Want to me radio Western Diamond Television, Western in the morning. Jubedi esu enye. Still on Muhammad's first 120-day social contract. Now my 11 I'll say introduce the following social interventions: free tertiary education for persons with disabilities, the Ghana Medical Care Trust, Muhammad Cares. Okay, it's Muhammad Cares and we call and to establish it. After you free tertiary education for persons living with disabilities and also a whole answer at the same. And no, we fail ya mutu mwa. Ana, one more did demono. One more quadrintity suyapomuno. What is it? Ya the abetumu se, Safoni no a scholarship package, you know. Abaya shall or implement it. Memente, so what did you find memente? I feel also commence the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. I don't know how lunch here. Then no to pad no we musado. But so me aso. Yente minim say schools ahodo no mu no. Ya the pad ni bia kwa chama nkwada no a. I can't tell chebaba so the waso for mo pa na won so waso for mo ntino. De ya wakoche biemu a mo behunu. Etino ya ba bebisa mo. Sa ensemo no. Yanko the next one. Na yantuaso. Or say institute enquiries and or forensic audits into the following matters of public interest: the collapse of indigenous Ghanaian banks and financial institutions at a supposed cost of 25 billion Ghana cedis. Illegal printing of money. The $58 million National Cathedral scandal, illegal and inflated single source contracts, COVID-19 expenditure scandal, PDS, Ejapa SML ambulance spare parts deal 13th African Games SkyTrain Palugu Dam Massets Galamsey fraud Mason excavators and tricycles Sputnik V bus scandal and others. And to the President Mahama sa scandals supposed scandals we say within your first 120 days Obe institute to an inquiry wadaroma inquiry na Sube institute na whatever and also want to be anye you go the next one quickly na yentimi entwaso or say institute a government policy banning political appointees from purchasing state assets and who say why well or say allocate seed money for the establishment of the Women's Development Bank 50 million free time wa ato force nkojire mu mrahye we fi okika sa asem ni nyina no yente ye chese minim de sa 50 million no minim da ye hye ase se ye di besi bank no I don't know I can't tell and also some IBB oho launch the following priority job creation programs in the first budget a Jumara program national apprenticeship program and 1 million coders program. Okay, a Jumara program will launch here last week, meboa. All right, 1 million coders last month no launch here. National apprenticeship programs will launch meboa. Yes, it's in the 100 year. All correct, sir. Yanku anywhere. Na they can hear fancy na or chemabane abna and twaso. Or say commence the review of the Customs Act 2020 to scrap the law banning the importation of salvage vehicles to rescue the local automotive industry of Atswame Magazine, Kokompe, Abosiokai, among others. And also something to say, review of the Customs Amendment Act 2020. Odaruma, Your Excellency, Osha Bono, process no onsha siye. Odaruma, Bekabi Biche, I aspire lay before Parliament a new bill to streamline government scholarship administration, prohibit political appointees from accessing government scholarships, and eliminate political patronage, cronyism, nepotism, and corruption in awarding government scholarships. And also, ahonsamo wadaroma yente hwe emfa hoye etino tuhuana mo ahana ensemno wono ban illegal and new mining activities in forest reserves. Roll out our Tree for Life and Blue Water Initiative to heal and sustainably harness the environment by turning areas and water bodies degraded by illegal mining into economic and ecological recovery hubs. You're interested, I say, ban illegal mining. Bepacho wa ban illegal mining or mebuhana. No. Wantimi anya ontimi nyaye afei ban new mining activities in forest reserves and also bobuo wantimi nyaye roll out Tree for Life no we're rolling out onyamba ayo okay we can national afforestation day na waye eno beba da be July na June mo July mo
I normally are launching in March.
Okay.
Now July yeah, but this year March no man till launching of. Okay, no kokoye wo Kumasi no. I'm going to Kumasi. Yeah, I'm going to launch.
Tree for Life.
Tree planting day no. And I'm friend no a Tree for Life. I'm launch 21st of March. Life initiative. 21st of March. That time I'm launch we a jato blue light no. Sadana ne janso to blue light.
Oh, I see.
21st of March. It will flew one call blue light. Okay, say what is say atorenche bi ato mo ne ade. It's July the best at you.
I see. Afei Blue Water Initiative. Send why mboa.
Abranko for.
Bele for. And ya why mboa.
Na sisi omo hi.
Me say omugu kwa yenu. Omugu nsuo ne so. Mutwa mu obepo so amuhu no omo nsuo ne so. Mu hu om.
Me hu om.
When was the last time I go foul?
Oh, enche yem say a
last month mo.
Last month ya me ko. Me ko me fa hoko fie.
Wa hu om.
Me hu om. Bele for.
Wa ma adwuma na say wa mu ni nsuo ne so ankasa.
Wo fa wo mu ni ho.
Wo mu ni ho.
Na so wo de nkeni so mu nya break o.
nti na maybe say wo mo he
de bia na manfo otu ohun
also okay yemomo that kind of streamlined body yemomo streamlined body to mutumi emmem ko nsuase ko hye nsuase kakra ayi water guard
atade na ese o tro kan no ye de ko nsuase
streamlined body to mutumi mem se nam e ko hye nsuase for why na
wofa
o se baba mo ni na wa no pe
wofa ye hwe ensu ye de he ye fa we pra nsu no so wo mu medina so ntu galamse yo wo mu hye kwaye nim na wo mu hohora
no ma hono no na be nsuo no
enti wofa I say minister ni so na hohoro wo mu nyina akọ
I see
because free bra wo sun ye nte wo mu nka biem
ayo enti no omso mbe ba ni illegal mine ne ate afen so wo mu ebe repeal eye LI 2462 ya bo mahama abo osu onfi na ne nansa ba te se kwa chi ofosu akogina ba bia ka se o ade ende de aye de ebe repeal na mso same ya na ahye ho wo be ju blade fu se wo mu de be test what test ne hwe se Ghana for be di ya hwe omo a so but sisi ano the Ghanaian electorate are very discerning wo de be sebo asi no mu hu ne ye de to me ni ma wie na bra wo hye ebo no so na wa ni so a but ene o ma wo ni pin no afa de wo di mirika se mo be ye we mo be repeal na mo nye we ye carry say mo amende sa ene o de to dwa se some 71 galamseyers arrested, over 150 excavators, vehicles, firearms seized. And see yo yate. Sa ne ma no ma seize na hun kuntabuo. Aya de we ya. Hun kuntabuo aya de we ya. Ba ya fa no si wona ye nkoko anka atamu ensemu. Some a year 18 minutes gone past 8. Ochema ba ASN chill the radio PRO. One ni nua ba abna se wa bani ampo atena se kwa anka atamu boso. Emra so wo de eba ma me sa so ma chibiem
e je so ska
mo ho ye
yame adom
ye da nyame ase
enini na ehye dan ye yibata ye
ebe ye
e da na de ate
o da nche na de ache mbua na utimi da de
nyame bu afu nimpa o
utimi da
o be ne den
me ntimi na o minim de ha ma adwen mitimi da
ne wo fam sad na ye baby
mitimi na
because na sanitatis amanfo kan say ontumi na me sokora ko mitumi na
me to be ebia enumere 10 a mada boroso a 2 hours 12 minutes and no mitumi na
ene wo fa wo kra wo dantem
ciao
10 wo dantem
mitumi na bi
me twen ya 12:14 am ena me light by answer me nya adakakra 12:14 am
na koto karium shenjila brakra
yedum
kania na wa tu kojokro
say elephant kutoka elephant kojokro what you say ye wo yo a substation ye wo yo no bia substation je kwa de ko say
yedum kania so yedum ni sa
even kwa ahin kofi wono a ade ni se no na
viare hanga sakra po yedum ni life
asabu
na wa what
Charlie, me de mitimi na. What is going on?
So to me that around 10-11 they were done tem.
Anyway, and I na da kwa ka tamu nsam ye ntinsim no yankua ni mu e.
What fire that me shase yo. Yeah that's it. Me shase the free daily graphic wakata ni. Ono no say truth and accuracy every day no. Now was for President John Dramani Mahama no phone da ha. And our launch a code of conduct Emma na appointees no more no ye adwuma no na kasa ba kwa wo kan ye wo famedwin ho na adwumu ina mentumi anane say wo se na appointees no so wo share so obi e declare ni asset by 31st March na wasen abeka se wo wentumi e declare wo asset na that time no wasen ma obrukuma bi we declare ene wo 3 months salary wo fa ye bechi na e de akwakoshe Mahama Cares Trust Fund nim intimenti ase was that the initial agreement?
He's an undecisive person. Mr. Nemuno, when we're undecisive, they can't decide for themselves because, what I say, they would face serious sanctions, not excluding dismissal or sacking.
President John Dramani Mahama, he's not fit for purpose.
In Tenra, Echina 7th May. Want to me and declare assets, you know, and you were dismissal. Now, Adano Sana na Yajantua, now Wakasa, was one where would car when if ye into then would declare.
Me patcho me bow. Sir, President John Mahama is serious one. You need to go by your words. That is it. ona unkrofon be hu say we a serious man because sa code of conduct ya kolanchi for you could know what we say nsem hunu because what ba be catch Ghana for say one point is in the club asset latest by 31st March where went to be declare no science in the man nyina say ukofie eso ya no bebre na declare
31st March
pana wetimi ayade afa wa sanction a wo de to e gane say wo de be sanction afo e dey na ayade fa
na wo fa say 31st March no krampo no apa ho
de da
so me for front so aba be wu ekwa wiye
enti no na kesi o take sa advantage we e de tire wo mo na ban mu say o be di nsem hunu a me kan wantia me pamo tumi no me e be kita me na Ghana for to aba ma me enya wo no amapo no kakra de ama wo no enti me ma me de ope e ma me magie no guase na kwa kama ye ntia sa afo ni nyina no 3 months salary ye ntua mfa ma mo e de no 3 months no do be ndai
o sakra ji asa akodi Ghana transfer Mahama case ye hunu penny nsem da
ye hunu bi pen
ye hunu bi pen
3 months na be ne de 3 months na be ne appointing dia na be ye
what for me dwen wa me ntiase I don't know because how
to be 101.3
sango fo mu de
na woni ma wo mo kra no so ye no ye Ghana for ne kasa emu anka wo kra mpo me ka hwe
wo me ka hwe mfa ho se enura aniwuo wo lanchi we se no pa ne yetena agaje jack sa de no ko lanchi no kra no ma no ko ha no because ni a wodi ka de tum kra no obi anfi wo mu so enti no wodi we ba betuam na fe yo so serious 3 months na nya ni hute anya ni hute ni ombe ya no ombe ye enya de ombe di class ti bia ya de ombe di class ti bia en wo ka se wonya gift na more than 10,000 Ghana cedis
I think 20,000 right
10,000 Ghana cedis say we declare and now the cars mienu begu wo se ene e gift e de ma no we declare was also handing over their state no but ye bisa say we be na kan asem me dey mistake to sokraba mami nyimra we be na kan asem say o say nipa no de achede e chewo president no e de na nipa no e hwehwe in return of that gift no was a biasida Kanazwe for the yeah but na be contractor and yeah contractor say organ ha ko John mama say me fama mo Kanazwe big Ford expedition vehicle bread was what be see president was a twintwan ade tin ya na friend say bra be sensana ko ye kwan e kwan so e so tutu ni afe ba ko e kwan ni nyina so tutu enti no nipa no ode eye gift no be che president no interest a bata chire e de wanya o me nya we eno ano no wo bi ncha de kwa
sa pepepe
wo bi ncha de kwa wakwa president no ada na wuti opposition no wo bi ameche wade wana abeka so ya to abeti a wo pe ene a gift a wo do ne hampesa bronya so e ba nyina no hwem asizi
asizi ya because o de ba wonya appointment
bia to me bia nkura so etene wa ba no obi abeche o cars mienu a say uhunu butaya etai sa achede ni mienu achi ana esi Ghana fo adwen koso enya se wadi class yanya de wadi class yanya de to aso ni enko
wa fa ye to so a ye da so na daily graphic wa krata no emu enro na save the judiciary demonstration ekoso fa the demonstration was massive ebinum kan say ene kwa wo mu kwanipa du krampo nkopiem wo honom so no demonstration na wo hu onse Ghana fo ni abri yankasa na protesters nsema wo mbuka ina na say CJ ni suspension no aban emomodin aso obetumi a reverse daily graphic enim ena we eda na enhwehwemu adedi akire mu se ene Ghana afibia ene esika ye de eba na eduane nsam a 762.32 billion Ghana cedis eno ewo kratafa to so dumiensa ewo daily graphic wa kratenem ene anopai na Republic Bank for ena wom ehye bose ene ho teaching hospital wom ebebo wom pa kratafa to so dunsia ewo daily graphic ene dinam
yo yanto aso the daily guide wo krata no eno so nsema no pai abanie enra save the judiciary demo ekoso pa ma ne yefe ehomka ama obi aso de no kokɔhye mu yeso sentrofo de ekire yehwe ne ekoye na massive pa kate ba mane se eno opposition parties no abo rank na puremantemu a wo mo de petition no ba akokọ Supreme Court ba akọ so kọ presidency na yera standegbe asem o kan no bode ebre ni wo ke bububu mu pa and the recycling bin na to bolem sansa asem no na ina so bi enim John Roman Mahama His Excellency so obi bi declare na asset to na appointees no sa obepam mu se na o kan ebre bi abesen kro 14th of March no wo si musu biem ebre o ka che mu January montie na March obesi musu biem no Sara enokura ne nsem mu obepam mu otumfo se etunya mekesa ba bi o ene ena odi finhia no eduoson enum 75 years nana onkwaso ebodi ekwan toma nana yini che pia eno nsem ena no pay daily guide ede abai
metwaso edi a free ene the Supreme newspaper ko wakratsa no emu na wo so Supreme enumu a ene enroda minority wo mu foni da ha ene Yera Alexander Afenyo Makin ne foni da ha Yera JFK mi hu no so no foni eka ho wa ha sei na wo mu kire mu sa Ghana ye judiciary no is under attack wose ne NDC for eye no enya de ebetumi apoye wose wo mu enkure adwen papa e wo Ghana ye judiciary no ho entimpeni for wose etumi ye bibi efa ho the Supreme enim ena wo so eda ene anopai na wo shoku wakrata enimu a etre mu sato ye mantamo ba ene totobi kwachi ena wo kase ene wo se yetumi ebo president abaso wo ne nwumedi ahodo wo die ene sabria bo ne din se wonko na Ghana Gas Board no wonko enko lidie the Supreme enim ena wo nso eda wo ha sei na ye kyerem mu sawdo ani kyerem wo offense no fa emrahye bedwani wo kono ena businessman bi a file petition edi etia no adentia yesuzu se etututu bi ekoso no wonim hu bi eno so eda ko wakrate nim ene anopai wo ha na wo hwe nim ha sei so a ella esinam ena sabre ya confirm ni se MCE wo adenta Supreme newspaper nim ni
daily banner eno na me di wie na ena no pay krata ne feto so amiensa wase Dr. Alhaj Mahmoud Bawumia ene NPP ejitafo na edi nkoman wo kyeremu se abakwasem mu no se eto ababia wie na se yente ho asese ba eno tumi ma yegyan na so pa ye hyehye nyama sanse ne nyama hwegu no ono tumi hyehye ne yie nti obia no kan humbo mu thank you to dwedi na se ono disan komai egoto dwa save the judiciary demo eno aso koso Yera Alexander Kwamina Afenyo Makin ye pemenebo e na koma ho mani twa heye se ntebri na fa na nko dan bi mu wo parliament anka bepenke nim ke bia nkonka ho koma ni shobo ni shu enso posi fo hunu sa asemu yanka o yesi posi ni ebo na beti enu nti aton sa Yera Alexander Kwamina Afenyo Makin so ya di o se wo wu wo mra na yentutu na no se hunu na o menye timu a o menyem oko position a wasam ye mo process ebe chapter dem ekura yesu kala na pen ebo ko a untumi nye sika bia ho ba wi na ware Ghana ha na save the demo ai judicial demo no eno a Yera Alexander Kwamina Afenyo keka asem bi se Mahama's government say Mahama governs with the spirit of dictatorship and in correct because one can say one more the democratic military style and they dibu my Ghana no my Ghana is sika ewumi no Kwame Nkrumah Ghana and Mahama Ghana two different Ghana and they wo am fancy me wie
mame for the new trust ko wakrata no emfa ensore media no so na Yera NTK ni foni eda ha sei ono de adeselede en wo ka kire the new patriotic party amanyoko no mpanifo sei Yera Kwame bafo abronye omo enkole no to order na ne nsem na wo keka no enye omo nkasa nkire ne pa no wankana no ntum na obese party no the new trust nim ena we eda na asset declaration no nsem no ena Yera Azim wo ka sei was President John Dramani Mahama na was defaulters no to me refer wom ekosraj na nansam na obegina waka ansa bosome miensa wode wom aketu akwhye sa wom default no sabi ya dwe ho a yente ase the new trust nim ena weita ene anopai na minority no sanso da habiem wom se Ghana bebi edru no enoma nkwa yiye enti wom ekasa se empenifo hye ye bibi fa ho eda the new trust nim na anopai president mfoni da se ha and was appointee say mundi claim asset o and ye mebosumi ne de to so nson eyekene ya wo so na when declare ye be sakaw wo beka kwotena fie na appointment no krampo no ebinu nya ebi ye pamo a ye de obi abehye ho the new trust in him. Yera pa kwesi beidu ena sabre ya boni din say. Konfa no chi aban ayare sabia wonko na wonko enkwada no CEO eno no. The new trusts. My na say ya mishuamo why? Bibia be kama why? Oh yeah, bibia be fa.
Ma catch John Drummond Mama Excellency. No so ne energy ministry ne ACG ndin komo. Kane no mudu ne na mboa o. Osika adwen o.
O je ma ba jinyum we fa cheche ore.
Electoral area coordinators and the polling station executives via Umuaha. Members of the new patriotic party communicators now Omunyina Michia Munyina. And I say, Sedia Munyina Martino. Year 2024 elections no December. Now Maybe a elections, parliamentary candidates, every constituency, omoko round, ekodasi, and a presidential candidate. So after every presidential election, from Ejukwahin Nisai to President Kufuor time to President Nana Akufo-Addo this time, Omukodasi. In the 2024 election, and Manso, we can say, Meko, thank you to Akodasi. But thank you to no, we can say, Yenken Accra, because now Professor Michael Quay and in the committee,
Kumasi Communications Director. Of I abuati ankasa, of I abuati papa bi. Minu ya no. Ya baby efiri ne ho wa kwan wa papa. Ya kwan wa bruta. Arape wa be kansa ofidua mu ase. Ye ne sim konwa ne yadi nkomo. Baransa na no. Baby His Excellency former President Nana Akufo-Addo obiar ma menchia no. Na me nana se. Na me ma no moni adwuma papa. Me ba chawo obekaya wode 1D1F ebaye na wode baye no yetimi SCC factories bebrebe no I think say we free akonwa so na yetimi see over 120 new factories wo memu hase na ba chawo de omunie NDC John Mahama ban baye wo se ene ya yakasai sa one district one factory program wa abanda da no ede baye no sabi aburu wo hunu fa so bia wo so etino tinton time we come was scrap no we dey free ho meboa yes sir abusia say na Aliko Dangote be ba jo se bunim no Nigeria ni Aliko Dangote ni mfori da ho no say na wabegye asase yantamu a ene enka wode eba besi a sugarcane processing factory under 1D1F initiative no. Anado, indeed you were a visionary leader. Indeed you were a visionary leader. And you know, I say a new chapter is unfolding in Ghana. We are thrilled to announce the launch of a major agro-industrial project in Kwame Danso in Bunu region, Dangote Sugar Refinery. This flagship program will feature a daily cane crushing capacity of 12,000 tons, irrigation of 25,000 hectares, production of sugar, molasses, and ethanol. With land secured and necessary permit obtained, we are moving forward with the support of Ghana's 1D1F initiative. This project addresses Ghana's annual $162 million sugar import bill, fostering a local, sustainable, and impactful solution. At Dangote, we envision more than just a factory. We see a catalyst for autonomy, employment, and continental transformation. Join us in shaping Africa's future. One D, 1F initiative, no. The insensitive President John Mahama, the visionless President John Mahama, essay, Fasobia Niso, Entino, Wano, and you had the Nisika Kwakoshemu. Until Bisha said, Nianka Dango Teddy Bray, Quebec creating Yuma, Mebua, Cabeti, a situated do a to, a Frammer and the bomb, Memuasin, Cababetiso, a home como, a Kwakusi saying, of our marching.
Major Swenya,
at the same,
Meraho.
Rebel,
Merabel, what I say, as all my unique and near ordinary. Young Canessa, Rebel, because Metzana, me a babuna, Majuma bomb, a bra bay by. Nasa will be our African or when it's riding with our person Babua. Now, government project, one district, one factory. I initiative at least a bet me Abua Ghana was Emabunu. Direct jobs and then indirect jobs. Now, and I'm a baby, no consa, and an M20. Was it one day and fast will be a woman? Was you see Ghana for your baby? But I can send your mean check about your more check. Oh, yeah. I'm out from 5 James I pay me was because baby any pan nominate the Etiano. And any papa more. Was Calbeck, I said, proud to 2024 election. Now, the new patriotic party, our parliament, concerning a tax invasion, and I say, tax incentive be a young farmer, some of the one district, one factory. And it's 4 years, Kukwasa, see into ma. Now, almost saying, I'm ready, or can I buy what come to say? What's going to be though? And I mean, me feel that. If it's say, oh, man, penny and another breast, so that's meant to water. Now, Toby and ye. Or the Manso, I think 35 Ghana city from the year 2017. Up in the year 2024, Osikani do 85 Ghana city. And then depending location, it will at 140, 145, baby at 150. And he said, oh yeah, Babunati and I saw Kotua Massa concerning your mama. What's in here, Babuni? Baby, I'm one Kania, you're doing the 3 days in it. Kania, you can't see you doing so. What's what can I say? And maybe an IAD cocaine once and some and come way. Ghana airport, I offer.
That's right.
You want me in Tibido? Yeah. Me won't be that. Under the incompetent John Mahama, and ne current, I can't say, energy minister, and it's a container in your. Now I'm on phone young woman. Say, what's the container to be a cocoa bordeaux? I want him by Chibia, any cocoa diano, Randy Abbey. Container be a day. I rent to see. I can't see a car. Nana, baby, will be a dim woman. Now, Sentia, what kind of crime for about country as well? I think that one of the agenda one back. Okay. I bear back I could be unknown.
Yes.
Now, I think that Eastern regions on a minute annual Barbesia. And the Info can say, baby, I be Shiana now to be an Shiana Mayan. Nether I say, you their name Quandon, you may be an Ayan Shiano. But they be a Bishan in Como. Because I may buy on far some more from an 1 year project. But I better say now to me a commission project.
That's right.
Yeah. Nana to be I was say okay for dear. Yet then as I say, why can woman agenda 111? Was a year, Juma. I don't mention lawyer Boama, Yako, a Manso lawyer Ukrum, a fair MP, Yamona Basson and Jumedia Odibiano, Yamishana, Mencha Rukus, was so Monte Papa, who drew pipe one. Where the fabrication the Western Central there. Ubiano a bit my head mass in down a pay. Was so a channel Montana Minia Bema Rapacha. I see you back up. When you say I'm yard, my fian, Mobagina to the new Mapa wood, no more Bonamincha at the Domwa. What's your magic brow, more Western Damo, and nay, Untu Redamin share the Tibu. Now, what's my boy, Jumo? As I said, my money now going to a name by Jumo Sentino. Quarter when you ban a meeting to me head and Takoradi. We could remember Bessa Crania fight. I see. You say in justice. Because I am Commander, my head, man, I ain't Jamaica, young can hold hands on Cheremy. Now I ban a issue termination letter. Now I am air casse, ya watching Kufi, and I may have watched better than one on the farm. More than Crata. There was a can Crata and was into see. Young Basona, young was why I say I'm paying for no so. Kokwana says, oh, my giant communication team no watch it. There's the time I got on the short communication. Now Ghana phone say, go my Makaya say, your short memory. What's your nobody no? Yeah. Jomuyen, Ayabua Paya, any Azabio. Omo Yanisana, I could do the year 2027, 2028 now. Yes, you're genuine. on a Ghana for Bekai says you should man Abekai. None would have fee or how I would not spend for the past 4 good years. And I had deliberate attempt to be no Masha as here, a young Quasabi, and I perceive one Samania. Yes, I offer media Niba Aquaman Piaro. Not Ghana for the service of 1 9 and any yankee. Now you are boy some a jar papa way. I buy ya a human ego. I buy a doomsaw and a dear shower. I buy the cost of living. I buy what to buy levy 1%. Now you're so empathy 14. You're back on once and already matching a demo.
Okay. Of a man, Nasi, I don't pay my main chair, Honorable Edu Eje, Honorable Edu Eje, a former Western Regional Communications Director. Yes. Okay. I send a message.
Yeah, contribute to program. Yeah. They were an anti-Minjana. And I know
Honorable Nana Edu Eje, and I will so maybe I will be an Ose or Sehi. And I will share Nano Page. Honorable Nana Edu Eje, former Western Regional Communications Director of the New Patriotic Party. I don't pay your chow, papa. I say, what I am. President John Dramani Mahama take the reins of power. He can boom in fear nano some 120 days in here.
Oh yeah.
Now for the past 120 days, you need to me Emma a year President John Dramani Mahama no. Amamu no of course saying young chance free ho. Of course saying near Mati saying. And then Namokani Abuo ya tumu 14.75% and Suobuo 4.02%. Chese Bibiano aye Bibio cost of living. Chese and Niama Boya den and rather at the former Jomoro MC.
Okay.
Honorable Louisa Frem was it? Was it? And that one that was said that would
okay.
Na Chese Niam she no and Niama Bo baby I drew near.
Oh yeah.
Sika oyi ye o hye waso obedru fie na ne husika nyina sa niam so onya ye nso a entimi fa ne ntwa eye 3 days
bi
na mse de wo ho no de ete wo no wo fa ya 120 days nie enina mkane abo ye atum ensuo bo ye atum enuane bo nso esoro kwa na eko under John Dramani Mahama ne wode ma ye in opposition no ene wode ma ye emprempren ya na
osi me na was na ye kan kire Ghana for say achia emuyi edesene kasabebu nyina na o se no kre say ye ba kwa election na utie ensema de bebrebe a result a ebeni na yera Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia ene Dr. Mighty Opokuprempe ene empenfo e de megu akwam se 101.3 ye de ye ba be so oman mu a eye nana arodankwa akufuado alle solid foundation foundation no o ebi ne one district one factory. And baby, any year we are could do any the aka we are to be 101.3. And then I hear promising you to say, you better make sure say IT. You better make sure say bet me I am prime and crack close to 1 million. Now Sky yeah ya den free. Ya hydro system electricity no. Na ya ba solar so. Now o say so nyuma Ghana for beden ebenya. Na ye yankasa Western region asase a eye Dwomoro petrol hub ho so close to nipa 700,000 direct job and the indirect job wo say den beba amanfo adwene ankwasa no e ma amanfo adwene ko 24-hour economy empo with the explanation impo no na enhye da ensi so but amanfo adwene e ko ene enkokọ enkete asem ene some of the allegation wo do anomo the level against the former appointees and the former government in emu enkrofo so ebeya ade say yen so amanfo eden enhwe but osi bibia nsikwa BBC aye papa but me de me campo na maba say osi ene say papa mwako bedi akwo otie ni a wonsi from ne anya adwuma sisi anse Ghana baba be say so sika kan okore bia ne ho yetan yempam ni mfiri wonom na yemfa yenkrofo so ye de mbra ada na afanyo aka say all the appointees any omo nyina with the questionable certificate eno mukura omo meeting merit so John Mahama na nkasa president na his excellency next more kind no enya de obetuma bibia but when na say oba be revenge to be 101 because the short memory no kind no ya de da ho no ma wo so obey wo si no obo nto an wo se oba one employment obetu ase oba ya na mass termination, relocation of appointments, and now quite close to bear 20,000 here. Also, no much if you are Omunya Eduma day. Any. Maybe I can send this concerning trust video. No, was it may come out as you are Mahama Bar? Can any be enjoy free electricity? Where is the electricity I enjoy now? Fine. Don't want any idea, Yedi Eshiaing. Oh, my castle, my cement. I have for Amraba singing digits. Yeah, they call 85 on the board. And the baby a 145, baby a 150, baby a 140, baby a 135. Now obi the inflation will trade the free 35, I got 85. Now by just 5 months, I have 120 days. No, Eddie Aqua could do 145 there. 175 and heading, yeah, qui. Yamra edum, yamamenum. And then Yanni Tomo Papa would say, Genome had no Osikani to me talk. We are not quite close to bear. You can't say trend Ghana. No, do miss here. But on my penny, Nanado, I better so no, we 150, 130, 140, no, you be at all. And the Ghana for no, as I see me now, what's it made a baby free? I'm a person, America. Say, what's winning question for share meeting, no man casa, no massam will meet him. Ghana for a D. Air train your man. You bet you are Dom, I'm coming December 2028. But because. And so okay, you know, they be no to me then. And talk about get about 30%. Oh, na memwom. The cabinet in my say room. And your mammy you pay. Concerning a cast my etina. I saw okay say Obama Ghana garam say. Wa ba be to because near us a major finishing crop for say. Oh, pe garam say campaigner. Nay the new patriotic party. Oh, I can afraid you almost say garam say no a long life. I want 1 term solution. And yet immediate solution be but at the same time almost someone I'm saying yacho maguno more amnesty no my day or may you may free fias. What's any yacho be a by the same and Forestry Commission 4 year Juma. Now you got chairman for your NDs from your mining. Ewo incha and the call to me Jim Castle, Yanya Conquer Juma. What's any cry to me no? A banner sender ain't sure I am for say. You're a member of parliament. Why you got say? You're Yano, Mama is silent. Young what you say, I saw your phone point, I don't call forestry, any insurance, other Mombano, and to my area, Blue Waters and Cockra, 4 number of 1 cockra. What's coming? I say, we are young cop, super mudun cow. Do corner of it, you have got a blue gas for no issue. Garam say to Samono Cassia. Adawonia Bema Captain Smart. One or two about Western regional or come out as all the executive at yes in Magaram say, and a left and right and on Winnie CC. I don't know anything about Eastern region. Say, I feel yesterday issue. You can't say certificate Eddie Ama and this for new persuasion, new chrome, and on more mining. So, see what in Nada Babajia Kumiano. Now, and I'm so winning dear Dibu and Mem winning count continuum. Bibio Beson Biano, I basa, me Christian to make quotation. Okay, can progress or baby or say, the Pabani need the idea. Or mine see a penny. There's a time of mine, ye see a penny because of your maybe. Ye can go microphone for near my budget to me now. 2 million only a day at the air. And I'm not going to say my phone in a issue. Your sushi beer and on the 6th was in Jam Cap. We am the on my manual Frebisa. A man said will be a my in Janica. One more my I says I can't go concerning Trony. So last month, no, was ye baby admission at the Amanes of war. What I'm talking about. Since I check port and the beer say, all my pennies in training according the year 2025, 2026, no, almost I can't mission Yana. But I'm going to say, you reduce by 50 Ghana, I'm about 150. Check what all I say, and no one to pay admission. You can say nursing training college, you know, and you be a man. But I'm going to see you being in last month, near close this month. You me says you be. We and throw any answer, and we'll be honest over your policy. New women's wear bang, what's your answer, so baby? What is that a man and you be on my assess here? And throw Anna, they know a more cada than was ya me ya. Young crow for a dear young count was some nepotism. Anna, you bear me, and I shouldn't get about when I can't say managing director. And a coprisia sank of a mining, call it Odaba. And then would the idea is ya. And now consolidated banger. And yet, Papa, if you quote an ere. And MD day, oh, see, I'm not say, and there will be at say, Joshua be and anybody, and Odi ideas is here. Ababa Yafu, Judge Bow Muntari, and family and friends, yeah, and the Momosa, and they bring my and a lawyer. And now I got to, you can't say, aluminium money. So, Yebra Samiga Finum Crawford and a year chidis. And you know, Osi 120 days in Ghana for how many are Benedion, I did a woman. Project out of Betty and Wayne and Yada out in chain. You are any idea what I didn't say obey my I don't hear see what I'm at hospital. And I been a minister ne a doctor for Contokwa. A brana MPPD idea, yeah, papa, a former finance minister, yeah, papa, a meander. A call on who's a challenge. I want to issue, communicate. Any man, news of finance, say true, a kind of saying. A head service no here in your man. Young fire day, but and their confidential course on with a day now near this message. You can say see you on and I'm seeing a pen of the next day near appointed on former PC back or Tamale South. Yeah. So on maybe the idea and they on go to Ashanti region. Covenant hospital, Dr. Papa Nimdiani see Papa. What innovative transformation and your papa air course one. We're sending a pamano and no financial was with the OC
101.3
operation. Because ensure a just a bami nyadi no ensure ne ementino yentumi nyu operate. This is the kind of aba ye kwoto ye no sunsun so a Ghana for it. The 120 days in there and my baby akwoso a Ghana for nyina de ani ehuna ye hwe ne din ana wa sha ase no wo park ne nkrofo o me betuma aboa no ene se ene operation loot and cover to one no afi amanfo operation loot and cre ana ye cre akronfo techi amoafo sa ana ya appointing nkrofo a omuninimdie e obibia on do si 120 days Ghana for how mu nam de how ma bi ne kese the cost of living ye nua ne sem no we say ukodwoma de ye
ke ma boa ye di
say me to ya mu mini choice de me kwa miska me so ana me to ene banche no we say ene 3 days am say me ofu adi me re wo kire say me 5 cedi a ye man board ye betem ba ko
okura de wanya bi
o kan to fere me aha o ka prembe to fere me
aha ntino ma
me ne wo man tam wo so fere me
yeah
say ye to fere no fere me pa anko we no board ye betem ba ko ma me
betem ba ko
tensi I'm telling the gospel the betem ba ko bon say am point nti bi o say tentena na basa ne gina so mpo a enke ne be enso mere bi ye kaya say ya memu na enye enso ne ye ja memu agina ne na so economy e ko akire de ne ba be wie ye papa Eric Opoku manu kontompo munatuni azan ene kokofo no age 70,000 Ghana no say 7,000 no tell the rand ya ba ka kire say osi wakonwa awutimi say me metena mu a ma me ntena fi nya men to make my dey osi yi aferi amana beto say ebo say the new patriotic party no mo ya ade ana kokoro no mutimi tuma ekodu 31 million na de dem kwa do so nti ya maintain ne ho a ebo 7,000 ne kan sa aboa ya sa atwa return enti sa ma no ehwe omo etie omo ehunu asambe no mo ka kire o mampanyini eti ye jeja ne sa ne nemu sa ana ye we ne sa ada no mba mo so be double track afi mo so me 2027 bon drofo a that tells you say entro no adware wo mo ana mo di aba be di ade enti omo ba bia omo de ne mapare be yisi but Ghana for Yakobo Nkum the new patriotic party gusu a ye hye ne oma ye be say aba kansie biu because ye ba o mantem bia na wo se ye make policy bia o ye ba o mantem project ye ne ye gina so aka asem say ebere be na we ne digya wo na remember fa no matuma ye hu bibi adan no oba ye o se maka secretary oba o mo anu ba yi uma ze bia o mo ya o wakofo akwa mienu bi ana wo tesoro say wo tutu boat no na amanfo ka say John Mahama ba ye no wa ma promise am ye hu aduma go to market sec and see so obi wa all ye aduma
sa video no nim say one of the bloggers omo was in regime we fini dina okogina asoro no na o twa no all ye commentary we che say John Mahama ama contractor nam say Jack mo ani na ho contractor ofri fa
contractor bi enu me dey was market sec no kan wa kame because the Chromian e wona me di mi dwa anka sabira mi hu mi nyoma eni so yi anka makwa akotena hono mu a anka me to ma de me so number room 35 R35 me ma me say share na da room enti e wonna me me di mi dwa ene aka nsinse ma ye hu a okofa mi na mo say wo ye bi e de na wo ye enti no Ghana fo hu ena ada ye project awodo a o si o western region emu ye no be wato aso interchange woni na ni hono mu a second road woni na ni hono mu a even GMP's headquarters in Pa ye commission ya e just ye fast staff ye say ni pa ana ye adwuma de na Ghana for e de ani ehun ni nyina ahwe say entro na nkrofo etwa e de bedada ye ba ni ma papa bi ya de enim ti Ghana for monka makoma ntum yam na ye nso ne oma ye ya anko yie no me say ye ra Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia ene national secretary egusu a omko thank you to na ye bompa ye say nyina be united na ye ka ye ho abom na ye agi ye mfon so ado say ba ku mienu bi ya anyi yi no ene ma Ghana for panish ba da fi nyame ya dom de akonya na man ya ye be ye nyoma Ghana for ho beto Ghana for nim say the new patriotic party ba ani ye nyoma de ahodwo beba ene ya kwa so nsensem nyina sa me de yam yampo no wosi say the new patriotic party na so and Africa so be do Takoradi do a carriage abembe obo ho wa ada me ko nkene se ko ntado to wo ko so gina ho no mu adwuma na ka o obi ya no wo to aso but he ne wo so asabrin ki ato be du ba bia e bia asabrin ka universe so sha se dia ba e ka je keep ko ye be se Ghana for say ko to be kuma no hangi kom enya don be kuma hu bibia na container no so yera ya no ye bi sa national security coordinator ne say the evacuate ekwa abere mpe no e won konta akwa akoyisen.
All right, well fire ma ye na say ohwe obre no some 57 minutes gone past 8 Western Diamond Television Wuntumi 101.3 Western in the morning Jumadi Esu eni and rather President John Dramani Mahama and ye wakwa ko lunch ye code of conduct for government workers na Jumadi na se no di tu dwa se na appointees are dan wada wo de be tu dwa se by 31st of March no will be declare asset a one more entimi declare asset ni nyina aro ane bosome miensa ketua nyaade a wo tuade amomo sa sika ne yɛfa nkonkoto ye Mahama Care Trust Fund no mu na ane wo mo a wo behia ayaresa mapa wo mo ni hu sika no yɛmfa enhwɛ wo wo fa ya the president Mahama de abetumu nie no wade kan kura ade wo ne abetumu se we an appointee na by 31st of March when timi end declare asset a asotwe ode be ma ne so obepamo na yenim de ba ya pamo na ntimi anya adwuma o se bosome miensa ketua e na ote e de free eye wo maketua mu yentie on
Oscar Ghana mra na anya adwuma
to be 101 point
ana yato abanu ye ho ana ye tie nsem a anya no kware onim say even a day a o kan asem close to 3 months ago ana my lawyer be sending message and what can I say President Mahama is seeking to set a good example by declaring his assets and demanding that his appointee do same. But the president is already in breach of the asset declaration law, which is the article and asset declaration law article 286 in 1992 constitution. You know, was in here he provided a president and category of appointees who are required to declare their asset should do so before taking office.
Yeah.
So 1992 constitution article 286 asset declaration law don't Mahama na nkan sanke chinutum we breach it because he himself should declare his asset before taking office on the 7th of January. And the no can nyina no na wonim de o kana aye na be say o ka se ye wa arefent no wanya nkura no mbeto anansem and then wanya support nso bana amafo refi say side declaration law ayi na wo no no we can breach and what say we ye panyina ka ubu mra so anka ye woden ke ye twa odu ko gina sandi bia ye bisa say nja yes and in the first place emra na anya adwuma ana ono anka se ye fana asem nya asem na Ghana fo nsa group na wodi ntini ye mu no egada na nkomo ayedi ano auditor bi ni mi di nkomo se wo se obi oye auditor bi ano se enye se ketaase hye project dream ano wo se wode emra no be ye adwuma ni nua no krampo mra ndi wo me achew yewra ya odomvo e ka asem bi se esa ngbofu ni nyina akwa na anka ba na ya suspend o mdadaada ba enam se ono anka sa ne eya azan no enam so obecha ma ne nkrofo adi bi ntino and you be janisa no san ma na the so the question is say you ya odomvo ama emphasize na betudwa anko ba actor and you one also your president
to me radio
leader what's the example where did you asset and then one man appointing 31st of March your bosom memu
your memu
how many man now after I better and you may add your train and then look at the appointees you know so far or any appointee CEO for ministers deputy ministers and all the regional deputy ministers because I appointed all the organizers say me a president suffer in charge of a region and then in charge of region be answer a regional minister so or part say your deputy regional minister Krumiano or medical asset and Troben working now even that declaration asset law no kwan o se me ya aboate mo wasem kan me pelo eni a me ne be ko Supreme Court no manya interpretation enye bia no enwema no ye share bi na commander general o si obi ano o me hu die o mu a enti ne etie nie ya abo atreme tie menya appointment make my decree as I see a de a chiro bia na me de a hwemu say Kwabere East kro ne friend Kenya ase no mesi edan kra miensa eden e honom sa be nyame anya adom bank e wa fichira anu mi me ska ye be eden e betum so by the time I me firi office no na adna say e ma hwe mpo a na atiman aba abesi ni gina bre makwa akofma de me ko enti eno kwa na pese ma Ghana 40 ase e ye ntoro e ya azan so bi so odikre na asset ya yam publish o man Ghana mu because any pano Ghana for taxpayers any editua neka ana o ye aduma e de am o man Ghana ana Ghana for pensions ni dwuma di a wodi no se be ye no kware mu bibia be don find no ya abo atere me be na mhwie ba akoma de ana hyamin ani amama yi ba osi se ya anya ne sa na yesi wodi credit akwa akoma oda general ebra ye mie so a eni nsem bebre den e beba now yen hwa de wo se wa launch Mahama Care Foundation
Mahama Care Fund
what show say or beti bibi da kotum that's a multi-million dollar question
was it what in the busumi nsia ketua betum o me be sha se yetua ne ka o me betum
o me anu abra mu kurumi anom ni okurumi na amanfo je double salary okurumi yom de baade enti wo si akwesa amemu no aba betu ba bia yemfa mara anya ru na obi ka say me say MPP believe in the rule of law but NDC believe in power so omdo mutumi ana ye ne ma bia basasa and we o kan ye no say ya amo no so o kan ye jan ho no enti we kra na ka dia ba bi go me say me ni abema akwa na oyi free me don numero oni kra na asset Walter General Anthony mutum metuma bonem sin bebrebe agency obekọ agency be 20 na 2 pe na declare obekọ ministries na be 5 pe enti wo ka say me ma Ghana fo hu say afi de leader bananka na law na say we can breach in the first place enti ye de on koso an ka na obeka no na o si brain be do ayen so taking note ye bebo no ma akoma say na pe me ba na 120 days yi odi bi e bo no ba ni obefra beka ni ye wo hwe ahunu ni ye wo tie so de ato ni kotodwem say wo ka say oba Ghana adwumafo nyi omadi oba we yi omadi o ka se oba want to enwema mu ana na let's yatuma yehu ba bia de elfei o ka se COVID-19 obeyi fro oba se hangi ekwo mu o ka se oba o de tobu to mesan eden aba o tumi eden e de aba o ka se oba ni ministers no better so but what ministers no so no yen hwe sika ye kakoye erikoto presidency wonom and the government communication machinery no enkwa de close to 78 million Ghana cedi Abraham Penny na do abreso what I need to call government machinery one. So that tells you that one SCS or any government or ya memu asotie keterese ba ne budget so eden e wo so no hu be odin ma be fa no ka bum saa enti ogina ba bia no wato bia atum adan me kwate say ye ba be fa nkrofo coding adam be tie say coding mpo no ye ne piloting ye ne nkran ye no Kumasi ba bia ja ne sa ye ne sa de sa adan woni asempa bia kan ti wo sa fe de pad and we be chama a school for o mo jom ka chen say John party e ma me ni to me dada enti we ne misplace parents na wo da betia abenwa so no enye na Ghana for e de enti no akwese ne mana giagu adan so okolanche ye se brasa anwa hwani wo cha fe de beauty pageant no be ye bi adan no koduru Kumasi so o say won tia say give work the services so aboka na da bia ye nom sa si bia ye nom so okromi ade nke no bi sa ade a no za nke boka eti wona nta no na ade a wo nyina no wo ka bom sa wo gya no waka bi no wa fa bi nti no na aka na asem ye de Ghana fo ama mfinhia nan mfinhia nan so embusu no na akoi aka mfinhia e ka se miensa na efa o mo di say di sa o mo nya papa bia na Ghana fo ansa esu ehu sa ampa fe die ye ton ye calendar black and white we de na ani adum papa
all right thank you abusia yanto aso ma menya sam few messages abepie mu ha na fi yentimi entoa enkomo twehwe no so e wa ha emfa emaw ye share from Facebook to no na abepie mu asi we say excellent submission Mr. Douglas Ejenim Boateng my regards to Saint Tokushambu and you Osikani Frimpong Manso we Collins sir and odi we ebaye we should the about say thank you all who participated in the Save the Judiciary demonstration. Our judiciary is the backbone of our democracy. Let's stand firm in supporting them against any attempt to undermine their independence. Greetings to Honorable Mavis in Kansam Buedu and Koka. Teacher Constitution sends this one from Wiamuase. Isaac Leon Basal say, Oscar, good morning. Your radio is off. Kindly check it for us. Why? Yeah, it is off. one more year who Juma, as and when a bebano, a beprompto. Sento Kushembosi Oscar, good morning. The plan and the calculated attempt by President Mahama or for President Mahama to go for another term is dead on arrival. President Mahama is very visionless to manage the affairs of this country. We say majority of Ghanaians have endorsed yesterday's massive demonstration against the unlawful suspension of Chief Justice. We must all rise up and stand for justice, defend democracy, and protect it against the introduction of partisan politics into our judiciary system. Masawood Kumasi Bantama. Richard Kofi said, wonderful work, Osikani. Thank you, my brother. Also, the other buy, and no, young cooking can be was saying na yentimi and toa and common so and far and mom. Okay, my men for free, I say. My men say. Okay, Mami Fawi Friana and Twa. So we say, Oscar, good morning. My name is Eric Kwekubu, the Patriotic Voices from Bichim. We told Ghanaians that NDC as a party has nothing better to offer Ghanaians. But again, some Ghanaians didn't listen. Now, electricity tariff is 14.75%, water is 4.02%. So this is the reset NDC promised Ghanaians. The propaganda that brought NDC into power will expose them. On radio the buy, I don't know. Yeah, that's a papa for your message. OPK anyway, if you go. So Oscar, good morning. Regards to Dr. Baumia and Mr. Mankwa Ajare Isaac, NPP Sunyane West Constituency Second Vice Chairman, and then coming NPP Bono Regional Organizer. Also, those Mahama appointees who couldn't meet the first March deadline is in the declaration of the assets have an intention to loot taxpayers' money, and we are waiting for the second deadline, which is tomorrow. And the minority parties' demo on Save the Judiciary was very successful. So Mahama and the NDC should do the needful because we are in a democratic dispensation. And so, I don't know. Thank you so much for your message. Wafake Edifree New Plan Station Circle, Accra, will say, yesterday's demonstration was fantastic. Greetings to Honorable Moses Abo and Charles Oten, Assistant Secretary, Greater Accra Region Hopeful. Eddie Odebaye, I don't know. Thank you so much for your message. Wafayao, Enra, the NPP, NFA, coalition of political parties, at the Save the Judiciary demonstration, so. Wadaroma. Once kwanya President Mahama NDC faso e dey suspend the Chief Justice no na odi yi na free akonwa ne so no se bia buru emfamra kwamu enti no ene wo momode na onye bibi emfa ho yentie o kakra on ye a demonstration e course nra no osi memfa me wi na me da ba be wie legit na ya to wo is obera from day one yera John Mahama kwotena efie ana o sha asia attack Judicial Service and say, Nadwini muno, Ninsusie muno. Only say, Yera, Nana, Adodankwa, Ekufuado. Apake, Court of Appeal, and Supreme Court judges, no, MPP inclined. Osi, and Adomagnimo, Osi, Japa, any ato forcing, Judge Bene, woman. You know the same judge appointed by Nana Dankwa Ekufuado? Yeah. Fantastic. The question is, yere judges are now almost Supreme Court. Emrebia, no retirement ya. Ebrenifa, what's it? Kamebo boni na na mdi ababe we yere John de no. One also appointed a brand. Obedi idea from the year 2011 or 2012 or no. Everybody 2016. And now the new promoted 7 new judges are Odomade of Domako. Petition na ye trofa ya ma me no no wo se bia no na ejinam the yes one ne betu kwan ye wura dwoma ma so ne betu kwan da no yeah you know the same taxpayers money so speaker so the nabusia tu kwan you know the same taxpayers money yeah but Ghana for e din e ho ana ma me ne ye kana sem na mo se why spend ni bi ehun ya Judicial Service na nkasa ne wo conditional service a e kire obi tu kwan a and it's kana osi anyone that didn't sabum, oh my young woman, on engineer, and master fucking count here. Ye be bia. Reno Ejina, and ye. Annie say,
si a pese Ghana brani ye adwuma the three arm of government na anaba ko ataka no yanko na Ghana for 18 no there be American say the foreign investors am be kurumi an ehwe judicial system no say enyem bia so bana say what niska be hye oman mu na onya asema enyem bia no judicial service ni beti magina na osika wodi amana na and then the multi-million-dollar questioner Ghana ni bia ABC okurumi ano so their intention to remove Chief Justice no I dey na clear because you are referring the petition to you can say Council of State for say omo eden enhwem omo we eden findings about no so why say you are appointing another the new acting you can say CJ and then a record what's they are appointing ni when we say ni nuane former Kromfutechi amwa NCA boss Eugene Bafuboni ni nua be ma pa no and the current director general
former there
Kromfutechi amwa no na say me can me dika e say ya competent we can say hey what's anya court and go to mu a and the court say o ya Kromfutechi amwa ya bo tere ka enya ya ni nua pa no and the current director general prison service no kenya Radio Gold papa
the late Bafuboni
yeah oh baby and then don't forget say the acting CJ no now a senior presidential advisor to Yewura John Mahama from the year 2009 to the year 2017 the records are there and you own the trend in aircraft you person you pack your microphone na assemble ye the bedroom maybe be the say one microphone the mra be make carbon one the same person who attack the judicial service say afi o man fa no kwale dia den anya adwuma and the clearly was so where dey so the acting CJ ni yen so a and am kwamu oba no man direct say all the new cases no you refer to one there is a charge over points judge one tana sa asem no so and say na atentene ne and your mind den o ti what can article 142 now it talks about the you can say the regional tribunal and it's for the bow oh yeah hinting crofo and it's for the ba so it talks about the regional tribunal and say judge di shame no once I have Republic and na ebemu head enye and then one also say ba point here or say Chief Justice no head and the Chief Justice won't allow sir and your man na ebe ko so enti no the betima achieve your new man no ayemi say me no ka say papa ye so ye attorney general so obi so ye kronfo wetima yi anu a wetima kokota onu an kata member of parliament plus on native parliament say you are corrupt and a thief if you dare me I will expose you wetima ka bibia oh the no man condition no on be say omo ya na omo nya omo microphone afi de yen sha ase na yen fa enuma nko gu court but Ghana for agi amemu papa die na ye believe the rule of law no say ye pese e ho no wo don saka enye yi again that judicial no etimi ye aduma on work as independent because ensema e be kwaso nya omo na be gina mu e de atentene ne ye den e de abandi ye hwe e kwan na wo fa so a wo be so de pam ye ma na enye kwampa so and now I was listening to me and my friend Janet Nabila or baby I manage no pa
Janet Nabila
me kai program ya ne kwen last year East Legon oba na ni adini ye pa na when is my work camp a one was say opese Ghana no ye mra ni gina na so na obi ensi ni yonko enti obe join demonstration and demonstrations no si where is be esi kwa ne fe ene na nika but as usual eduwa na ye ka kwa she institution this Ghana Police Service for echi so the right place also do petition ya kono ne ya sha ase ya manko ye say ni say ye the science about the madon ma say wa ma mra anya aduma ye be make sure say this country ungovernable
okay
be better ta na ma wode no kware den aye aduma na me ya na ba ne say a tuisifo public service workers union for anyone we can be omu ni nyina aye din ene de ye say eda maame isaba tokonu so o the Ghana ni bia edin the new patriotic platform na ase yenya ana omo aka edin ade beduru so no ana be say nka the late Dr. Pabo say anka wo dana what a quantity and it was a demonstration no I think the last week in po the garam say demonstration here it grounds
yes
and then save the judiciary so I take grounds enche bia no public service workers union force by take grounds on pay salary you can say termination of contract because and I court into ye better kan ni nyina be decide day in day out to be ano demonstration e besi saa ma man panyin John Mahama hu se Ghana for na to abama no na aba ye to ma no eno ma bebere akoso ayempe ye say adan no mo sha asem bowura finance minister former ni fie no na ne papa mu a adon bowura former governor ni fie no na ekwa papa ekwa fa aso ese ekwa akoche ni abema ntim fodo na ekwa papa ekwa fa aso call Dr. Baumia nobody got ni fie no ekwa mpaso a ye de embarrassment me zenti Ghana ni bia no say ense bi say ekwa menka say the new patriotic party for na enya ye pese Ghana na emra no etimi ye emra kunini a ebebo me nu nyina ho pan na ekwa say obi tumi ye de ama no nti no what is that tumi ni betietia o man Ghana for fa de menya ne tempo say nche bia so ye maame oba eyin so je so eko yisin so
wo so mu free ye maame we so
wo de ko no
jina do ko mensa
do ko mensa be ko ndi adano na amanfo agitum ka say ye maame soro to say no ndis no sha taade adano menya ne tie say na kwa akoto board so Ghana gas so na bia mu say ne ekuni
wo fire wo ye party na unya tumi a ya tie dia amanfo no
oh yeah
na wo mu referee say aba ye to o mamu ha wo be president a enyina nipa ba kusu
oh yeah
enti wo pa yisi ma me no yini free ho
okay
na fa ne oye NDC ni kwetena bra
ye to abani
na ba ye ba kope Ghana fo no mo fo mo ho what made decide that is it
fantastic
enti dia wo ye no ha ho kwa adwuma no e dia ma no ye na ye ne yie
say o madwen ni say
you see
om nkrofo ba na don't forget say o appoint oba hema salary the same person they declare the man na do down kwa Kufuado
yes
so why is all my chain one trust in adwuma why is the chief just one trust on adwuma why all the public sectors in payfo am qualified
01.3
so embedded the adwuma no my Ghana mpun 20 no personal interest enya bia de Ghana for aba beti ase afi the amendment na be ko parliament no o pese wo swear now ko Supreme Court for interpretation say enya bia and the America say o man panyin wotuma akwa akire 2 times because one kwant was so call back na bereki nti oba no enti de o ye anie ye nyina ya aka ya tibi ebe wie de kwa akwa wie nie enti adana yera afanyo market ni tu bia no ana yera lawyer Justin Kodia ni tu bia afa menya ne ntia say amanfo ahase yi ano say osofo abrobe ewo menya ntia say ndogwe so ka bi menya ntia say majority dan so de wotumi kwanu kroma ya hye ne fie yi boko central member of parliament so ka bi say o man panyin oni adwene bi asa oni adwene bi asa na namo na wo twa no ana ye kire say ba bia na mu die we intention ane say obesa akọ Supreme Court for interpretation say enya bia wan kwanto aso mienu no obebi eyana and then one says sense ma ye kan nyina mu dem ma Ghana Bar Association for so call conference no ezo divided into 3 no kwa die na asa bi also mu gino mu say ye wunua ana ye de ye no enti ye ni no kwa gan say that vocation ana say yakasi ya suspend no enam mara kwa no man panyin sa reinstate no man adwuma no emu ache me say because now and this for gina Ghana Bar Association for gina o mo obi gina me na ma me abre we ase oba pass of Yakubu former chief justice nyamisha no pay me salutu no when so bia de no kware ye adwuma sa ma me a adanu mire bi wati si krom picketing na ne bibia kodi baabi ye ne na anya adwen bi kwadi afin say anke ye ma no chief justice die but ene kwa kwaji kazo state nso di bire so say aba no otu bia ni because the adi ni nya no sana Ghana ni bia so de to akoma so say o ma patriotism no amamu papa na say o mamba pa no aye adwuma je ma me ano pe die ye de wa say mpanfo akanyina ye sa adana anke yura dwo be mu sa afidie waka na nya ba bi otwa so yede okay won fa mbara no anya adwuma na da no on the 17 say ka me ma me na nka minya say de obeni a anka mkoda mi fie o o kama me so afre me Manso ani na kama na ke be so ani won kwa dede na mo aso ani na bo so miensa de wo tete ma mi sa aka na sa but o si save the judicial demonstration you know I know some hit Western region some of us will join the demonstrators no na ya kire say ampa ye be so man Ghana no emra na ye aduma
very well on the suspension and removal of the chief justice you know old Tafo Pankrono member of parliament yeah honorable Vincent Asifua etintim petition ko dan Supreme Court ni say one ma president Mahama entwentwen ana mutuo ni so na Supreme Court no fa interpretation mapa emra ansana se obetu ana mo bia watu president Mahama ebufa Supreme Court so suspending chief justice no court no kwa asetina no wamo atu asem ne hye enne enti anopai ya hwe anim se Supreme Court no ebe here ana obetie the injunction petition filed against President John Mahama NFA justice pamai committee no na fe yahwe de court batai no enso ebeka in petition no wasanzo sere se ene kwan aye fa so edi be probu ma me no ebe yanka yentwa mra tv so no bia enhwe bi aha obi anhwe bi
se supreme court ehwe bi
yeah enti no yegusu a ye wa twem a ye hwe ne mu se the acting chief justice no justice Paul Bafoboni ebe grant sa clearance na ye twa eye we no na enjira nso yatimi ahwe bi enti no na ye ho no enti na court no be kwa setena na ya hwe ba bi asuswan ede bode ho nso ebetimi akogu na wo fa ya
ye
galamse kun ye kosen
agensamu
cry
o cry baby obesuwa osi
ye
solution be na amabu ade aba
on fa hwe mai
wono bo minya ne TSS ne party chairman poto trotro form eda na mo launch the blue waters no we say we are trying something ye ba be ye bibi but to fight against sa total ayini de wo sinya de be ye adwuma say next man work can say and watch China for now ye don't make kurum
yeah
ye mi say ada no sembe na work na okurum ya no say NDC ba no de youth mine no ko China ko training wo mo enti e training wo mo no ne akwa bani wo si agensamu na obi e te say mo amo ko okon no amanfo nkopomasem uni abema irasos asare ho anwane say dey in down to be ano or the communicate ba na wa kire forest ahodo a amanfo oguma yetu yemi say enyembia ede ade ana omaye aiden afa ho ena okọ forest commission fo ntumi nkonko ye adwuma bi okono ko chigaram sefo na court no won beka se yenya wo mo asoja fo okono mo kwa chi o ma ye beka se omunya wo mo ye beka se o ma ba na aiden aba omo anso na ya mom license the last ye ka say ne o ye CEO ma minerals commission say the new patriotic plan appointing no and then ka ba yank wo saake nkrofo yi wo ja no because no no mko na krana wo ye obi obetuma gina no waboa wo mo na o matuma aye adwuma na yeden abom na me de me ya ne say wo si o ma water kwa Prisia Huni Valley Bogoso any that particular areas no omo bere papa na ye ka ne say president here wo asenkirigwawe and ye two am president ye two and all baby post wa ye two am nsuo ye two and all kwada bo ase subiri so yesima ye two and all ko Prisia Huni Valley say ye church of mani okwa Asante region see ye church okwa Eastern region ye church because o ma ban na aba eda na Asante region minister ma that is me ma obi ankoi so we si ofiri one excavator 50 c h ronom
yes
adano excavator so ye chi wo mu so no science and technology minister Mutala Mohammed say excavator 410 we si ye hwen so a ye hunu adano ye ko bo so frɛ ho district assembly so ye chi nsia so a ensia no nowhere to be found enti ni akwa ba ne say okon de wo
to be 101.3
na me ana the hypocrisy I what Ghana from na eye me ya pa say ne o man panyin na ado abere so no na san ko no mu ni kurom ya no a
no more
ye read demonstration upon demonstration ye ya mama me abere bi a wusin kran ekotena awie ma me achi wutum
yeah
ebroku road e 37 military hospital so we hear the most but now we say demonstration so no who tie to be so fa hodie so sama me no fa nefa
nya atwem nko a
nya atwem nko a the hypocrisy aspect am Ghana ye nkue no ana me abedu ba bi ababedui na nka na ko mo boss entoa no e fight against then na dan ko agufo na memu na nka sa break current administration ka musin kwan so because for so achi moto tontro kire se garam se pink ye na ye tuo won betu ase sa me gafu mu ka bi e na akwa sen kwa kubu ahenom ene toni obenom no man na mo ka se ye mo so mo do si de me kan se say ya mfa ye nsuo sem na anhie nsem a ebeji nsemu ene ye hwe the research awodo eba say those areas na more community mining areas ni nyina no ye nsuo mo no how is a deform wo mo enye bia no ye man ya dwene enko so ene ni benye ska to nsu papa no ma na mire bi eba ne bedima nya ska to nsu papa nje no garam say ni ko no o man pani do ma ha age ni nsem na osi minister ankasa wo fight ni betina TV so
yeah
it means one solution bia to garam say fight so that is you say something Ghana for the can say ye de ye fi ani hwe o mo sa no mo koso antwa ntro na but young was one engage you on you know Mukasani and Chum say Garam say no saying Eta was not here when it's saying Kakono Keko do 70 million Kababu work for no say someone was say na bosome nan bosome num bia metina botose ni menyadia den na mi jemu e dia magaram say for no abetu a e ba be say masase but o man panyin na yinani adan ato nchen eno metwe banyina enko na o masa atiesim say reporter e ko the whole guy nya say NDC executive ana atiesim no magaram say omoye
okay wafa ya me na say abusia ye de enan komo ni nyina no ebesi eye hasi wa utie yen wa wo hwe yen ma ye na wase papa wa do message ba me ka ma won so ase da murampim wasiedu enko emfa emma ye na eye production team na say Ochemaba AS Enchel, thank you. Abena, thank you. Yaro, thank you. Same, thank you. Kelly, thank you so much. Mana Prek, technician on duty. Yadasi DJ Bone. Yadasi. Medin yo scanning from Paul Manso. Mitina mu de ma berma ba na na kunedu abupra. Mamena Jenim Boating Ase, member of the NPP Regional Communications Team. Yadasi. Bepacho Premu tu ashia abena ne Ochemaba. We are prem tu breakfast yebo live on Western Diamond Television. Womo ede beba. No na ebo a shia Ochemaba AS Enchel. Omani mpuntuo obetena se na wode som papa nso etimi asommo. Ya me amusui on TV no mesrawo movies a ani da ho ena yede esomo. Adom bedum ye ne a ochena yenhia na yentoaso. Good morning.